I'm Ilya Marchenko.
I'm Dennis Kudla.
I'm Jesper de Jong.
I'm Henry Laaksen.
I am Francisco Cerundolo, and you are listening to the Game to Love podcast.
Last year,
Novak Djokovic has left Australia after losing his appeal against his visa cancellation.
He knew the conditions since a lot of months ago.
I was just following the rules. I came in with all the valid papers.
The volley! It's so good! He's done it!
It's the miracle in Melbourne.
Novak Djokovic has been granted a visa allowing him to play in next year's Australian Open.
Fans who taunt Djokovic are on notice. Do so, and you'll be kicked out by security.
Carlos Alcaraz is out of the Australian Open.
I look at my ranking, it's giving me a lot of confidence, but on the other hand, I know that these are just the numbers. Anybody can win a Grand Slam right now.
Who is going to avoid Novak Djokovic? Daniel Medvedev's in the same court as Rafael Nadal.
It doesn't get much worse, I'm sorry.
Can Raducanu beat Coco Gauff in a second round bet?
Felix Auger-Aliassime will win the Australian Open. Iga Swiatek will win.
Aryna Sabalenka and Taylor Fritz. Yes, you heard it here first.
Novak Djokovic, clear winner for me. So my projected semi-finals for the women's, Zheng against Pegula and Garcia against Samsonova.
I see Novak Djokovic holding his 10th Australian Open trophy this year. I see Maria Sakkari winning her first Grand Slam title at the Australian Open.
The Nicholas Kyrgios Steven train is powering his way through to an Australian Open title win, and he's taken out Novak Djokovic on his way.
Hello and welcome to some more tennis action, live play-by-play commentary from the Australian Open. This is the GTL Tennis Podcast. Thank you for joining me on the stream. My name is Covey. The match actually has gone underway. My computer had a little issue. It froze. I had to reboot it, but luckily we're only one game into it. So before we get any further, real quick, let me know your predictions. Here we go. Right after this. There. Predictions. And hey, you guys, just a reminder, join our YouTube membership. Our goal is to hit 50,000 subscribers. We're only about 400 away, and our goal is to hit that before the end of this tournament. So please give us a hand in that regard, if you will. And also, if you feel like it, please give us a like, a subscribe, a comment, a share, all that lovely stuff. All right, here we go. My prediction for this match. My heart says Shelton is going to win, but my brain says Tommy Paul. I'm going to go with my heart today. Normally, I go with my brain when I'm making predictions. I'm going to go ahead and say Shelton's going to make the upset. He's a big serving lefty, youngster from the States, NCAA champion, facing Tommy Paul, who's had a phenomenal year, had some big wins. He beat Alcaraz. He beat Rafa all in the last year. So there you have it. All right, I'm going to get into it here on the play-by-play side. Let me know where you're from, where you're tuning in. I'm over here in Vancouver, BC, Canada. It's 8:27 p.m. in the evening. And yeah, stoked for some tennis. All right, here we go. We got Tommy Paul is serving now. Ben Shelton's got a mid-court forehand, which he puts away easy. And it's 30-all here on serve in game number 2 of the match. All right. Okay. And Shelton and Paul have never faced each other. They practice together, but they haven't faced each other in any official matches as of yet. All right, let me just take a look here. Okay, here's Tommy Paul serving at 40-30. Ball's up, serves into the net. And second serve is good. Shelton on the return. Now we got a backhand from Shelton into the net. So 1-1 here real quick. David's in the house. Cross court tennis says, hello, Covey. Really hoping Ben Shelton gets the win here. Yeah, that's what I'm. That's who I'm. That's why I said my heart is going for Shelton. My head was going for Paul, but I'm going with my heart today. I really like the way he plays. Massive serve, 140 is what he got up to in his last match versus JJ Wolf, and I think he could just catch people by surprise. Although Tommy Paul knows him. Another one from Dave here. Love an underdog. I know his draw will be talked about even if he makes the semis, but this is still an amazing run. Absolutely. This guy's never even left the United States in his whole life for any reason. Goes to Australia and makes it to goes 5 rounds deep. Trying to get to a 6th. Oh, there you go. Nice forehand after pulling Shelton across the court there. So love 15. And hey, Dave, how was your stream? Unfortunately, I did the stream before yours, and then I had to grab some food and take my dog out for a walk, so I didn't get to catch your stream. Hopefully it was a good one. I did catch the end of that match. So, yeah. All right. Nice serve by Shelton. Can really get him some free points, man. This serve is a monster. 15-all here. Had a pretty big dinner, and now I'm like, gosh, I needed coffee to wake myself up after. Another nice serve from Shelton. Great return from Paul deep. Now backhand Shelton, forehand Paul, backhand Shelton on the slice, forehand Paul, backhand Shelton, backhand Paul, forehand Shelton, forehand Tommy Paul for the cross-court winner. So Shelton is a left-hander, and it does look like Paul is going after that backhand. Don't know that it's a liability. It might just be the weaker wing, perhaps, but that's what it seems like just upon the first couple of games here. Dave saying, my stream was good. It was an interesting variety of quality. Lots of double faults from both, but Arina Sabalenka was so impressive with her back against the wall, just relentless. Yeah, I saw a few points where she had Vekic on her back heel and just would hit like 4 straight forehands, ripping them. And pushing Vekic back like a foot with every forehand, you know. I'm surprised to see those double fault numbers. I heard it was around over 20 combined and over 60 unforced errors. So Peach is in the house. Peach is saying, hey, Covey and GTL fam. Dave is along in the chat as well. Welcome, Peaches. Thanks for coming in. As always, stoked to have you. All right, here's Shelton. Tries to go ace up the tee here at 30-all, but no luck. Second serve, as that one was long. All right, nice return by Paul here. Now backhand Paul, forehand Shelton. Backhand Paul, cross court. Shelton tries to go up the line, but that's wide. So first break point of the match now is Tommy Paul's. Let's see. I got everything ready. I got my Tommy Paul button. Oh, I got the Shelton button, which I've never heard. So that'll be fun. And okay, here we go. First serve at 30-40, break point against Shelton. And forehand Shelton, backhand Paul, forehand Shelton, forehand Paul, cross court, backhand Shelton, forehand Paul, backhand Shelton, backhand Paul, forehand Shelton, forehand to Paul is long, and we got a deuce, so he saves his first break point against the youngster. Peaches, in reference to the last match, Vekic versus Sabalenka, says too many double faults from both ladies. Yeah. Vekic's second serve was put under so much pressure. Definite something. Sorry, I'm missing that. DFS of that percentage are Double faults of that percentage are never acceptable, but Arena was scary on return nonetheless. There you go. Shelton with a nice serve there. 216 kilometers an hour, comes back unreturned. So advantage Shelton. Shelton saved 8 out of 8 break points against, was it 8? He saved all of his break points against JJ Wolf in a 5-setter. And that's one of the other reasons why I think that he might be able to pull this off. Although Tommy Paul may be a little bit more formidable. Hey, there you go. An ace up the line. So Shelton saves a break and ends it off with an ace. 2-1 on the changeover. And I think it's time for the first time for me to hear the Shelton button.
Ooh, there's a boy in town called Shelton, Ben Shelton. Ooh, there's a boy in town, he's got those hearts melting. Ooh, Shelton, Shelton, Shelton. Ooh, oh, Ben Shelton, Ben Shelton, Shelton.
All right, looks like Ben went deep within for that one. I felt his heart on the Shelton. Nicely done. Thank you, Ben, for getting that up there. Ben is a genius, man. He can do them so fast, it's crazy. So we got we got Peter in the house. Hey, Peter. He goes, Cubby, the man who never rests. Yes, that's true. Sometimes I do, but not when there's tennis on, my friend. Peaches says, I am not familiar with Shelton. Okay, so Shelton just cracked the top 100 at the end of last year. I believe he's 89 now. He played for the University of Florida in NCAA and won the NCAA title in 2022. So he's making his professional debut. This is actually the first time he's left the United States for any reason in his whole life. And it's to play at the Australian Open, which is, I think, a pretty cool story. So hopefully that gives you a little bit. Another thing about him, lefty, and he can serve up to 140 miles an hour. So, yeah, really, really interesting player here. So I hope you enjoy watching him or listening to me talk about him if that's your only option. There you go. Paul with a nice serve and then +1 backhand cross-court winner. And Peter says, let's go, Ben, but cool, a pale Shelton quarterfinal. Okay, who predicted this? Raise your hands. I did not predict Ben Shelton to make it this far, but it is fun to watch. I did watch a couple of his matches, and I've been very impressed. All right, Tommy Paul dumps a forehand into the net, 15 all. Peaches says Paul to win. All right, all right. So myself, David, we've got Shelton. So like I said, my heart is going for Shelton. My head is saying Tommy Paul, and normally I go with my head when it comes to making predictions, but this time I'm going against it. Okay. Peaches saying, Peter, I saw him in a challenger. I think you're talking about Paul here. Tommy Paul saying, Peter, I saw him in a challenger match last year and he was good. He lost but held a good game. Nice. All right, as an overhead smash with a very acute angle. Nicely done there for Paul. Now Paul's also serving pretty heavy, 204 kilometers an hour. I don't know what he maxes out at, but I don't think he's quite as heavy as the Shelton serve. Okay, here we go. Paul serving, second serve at 30-15. And return is long, so 45 here for Tommy Paul. I can't just say the American because there's two of them. Peter saying he's a breath of fresh air, Ben, that is. Nice. All right, here we are. Tommy Paul, 40-15, first serve. Very nice wide angle. Shelton lobs it up, and Tommy Paul, easy smash for the game. 2-all here. Pretty quick pace. Both players looking pretty solid. No one shanking the ball. So we got some sharp players to start off this match. Let's see here. What are we at? 19 likes. All right, y'all. I still trying to taste that 100 like, the feeling of doing a stream and getting 100 likes and playing the 100 like button. Please help me get there if you will. Also, we are looking to get to 50,000 subscribers. That's a massive number. We're at 49,600 plus, so just under 400 to go, and we are looking to do this in Melbourne in the Australian Open before it ends here. All right, here we go. Shelton now up 15 love. Both players 100% at the net so far. In terms of kit, we've got all New Balance for Shelton. He's got a black hat with a white NB on the logo there. First serve into the net. He's rocking a white shirt with black trim. He's a little further away. I'll get to more in a second. Second serve is good. Backhand return Paul. Now forehand Shelton. Paul with a huge lob on the backhand. Shelton backs up. And it landed on the baseline, that lob did. And Shelton smacked it. And then Paul had to hit a backhand again off the slam, but that one is long by a couple of feet. Good composure by Shelton. I mean, yeah, well, and that was a beautiful smash. He hit it really close to the baseline, but it wasn't uncomfortably close. All right, so the New Balance, like I said, black trim on the white shirt, and he's got purple, pink, and brown kind of color patches that go across his shirt. He's also wearing black shorts, white shoes, and he's got, I believe it's an orange wristband on his left wrist, which matches the color of his string, maybe reddish or orange. Oh, nice forehand winner off the serve from Tommy Paul. Great timing there, and it's now 30-15. You were talking about Shelton. My apologies there, Peaches. Nice. So you saw him play. That's pretty cool. Oh, here we go. My man Ted Nervander comes into all my streams and lets me know the most specific score prediction every single time. So what he's saying here is, it looks like he's saying Shelton is going to take this in 5 sets, 6-4, 5-7, 2-6, 6-4, 7-5 in 4 hours and 21 minutes. So there you go. Average first serve speed is 196 kilometers an hour for Shelton, 186 for Paul. So pretty close, but a little bit of a difference there. Now, serve and volley for Shelton. That doesn't fool Paul as he goes up the line and gets a winner. So 40-30 still. Another chance for a game point for our man Ben Shelton. All right. Hey, if you just came in a little bit later, let me know what your predictions are. I have Shelton to win in 4 sets. Yep. Let's go. Okay, here we go. Shelton with a forehand. Tommy Paul with the same. Backhand Shelton now. Backhand Paul. It goes long, and that's game Shelton for a quick 3-2 lead. So the pace of the match, pretty quick here. Just at 18 or 16. Let me blow that up. 18 minutes. There we go. For 5 games. So just a couple minutes a game here. 3 minutes a game. Peter's like, thanks, Ted. Now I can go to bed. Now that we know exactly what's going to happen and in how long. Peter's saying the crystal ball is cloudy this AO. Yeah, you're right. Hey, Compliment King is in the house. Nice to see you, Compliment King. He says, cheers, Cubby. Cheers, buddy. Thank you for joining. If you're feeling it, please get me that like. I'm trying to hit 100 likes on a stream. We're at 20 so far. Also subscribe. I'm trying to hit 50K, only 400 away from that monumental accomplishment here for the Game to Love Tennis podcast. All right, let's see here. We got a little break, commercial break. Next, we're going to do the kit for Tommy Paul. We already just worked the Shelton kit. When they come back here. Oh, again, that picturesque view of Melbourne. And then even the clouds on the blue sky look fake in like a good way. Like it's just paradise. Beautiful, beautiful. Who here has been to the grounds at the Australian Open? Let me know. I personally have not gone to any major yet. My goal is to hit up every major. And perhaps one day I'll do it with Game to Love. How about that? We got Lady 707 Lady T is in the house. Hi, Covey and everyone. Welcome, Lady T. Thank you for joining. And ace to start it off here for Tommy Paul. You know what, guys? Tommy Paul and Ben Shelton are wearing the exact same top, New Balance, white with the purple, pink, and then the kind of light, like tan sort of stripe across in the middle. Black trim on the collars and on the sleeves. Although Tommy Paul is wearing white shorts, white shoes, and a white Nike hat with a black NB, and no wristbands for Tommy Paul. All right, 30 love here. First serve is long. Got a second one coming up. Okay, second serve is good. Backhand return Shelton, forehand Paul, backhand slice Shelton, forehand Paul across court. Now forehand Shelton, now backhand running Shelton back and forth. It bounces twice as Shelton couldn't get to it. Smart play there from Paul. He's really doing a good job running him around. And he's got 3 game points. Could we have our first game to love? We'll find out very, very shortly. Here's Paul bouncing the ball. Serve is up. And it is good. Now +1. Shelton gets that +1, but Tommy Paul's at the net, and he puts away an easy volley for our first game to love. Yes, yes. All right. 30 people in here. Thank you all for joining me. Anyone here in the chat think that Novak is in trouble tonight versus Rublev? Let me know in the comments. I'm curious to see if anyone has Rublev, because pretty much I think every single person I've spoken to has Novak with the easy win. The way he's playing, I could see Novak taking it easily in 3 sets as well, to be quite honest with you. But hey, we'll find out soon enough. But let me know. Let me know if you're feeling it. I want to know what the general consensus out there in tennis land. All right, nice rally. Got a backhand slice from Paul. Now forehand from Shelton. He ran around the backhand maybe a little too eagerly because his forehand was long. So, yeah, it definitely looks like Paul is targeting the backhand of Shelton. Not like with every single shot like Rafa used to do to Roger, but you could tell that's part of the plan. Nice serve there, blocked back, but into the net by Paul. So 15 all here. Man, the nerve of the Shelton kid to save all these break points in these, first ever Grand Slam. Pretty impressive. Hey, Gobes. My little puppy down there. All right, nice serve out wide, returned up the middle, and then a beautiful inside-out forehand winner from Ben Shelton. Very nice. Oof. Man, can he rip that forehand, you guys. So can Paul, though. But he's a big boy, too. I have to check his stats. So that right now we got... all right, we got a forehand from Shelton cross court, backhand Tommy Paul, and now backhand Shelton is long, so it's 30 all. Okay, so here we go. We've got a couple comparisons. They've never played each other. We've got official ranking. Shelton's 89 in the world. Paul is 35. We've got age 20 for Shelton, 25 for Paul. It doesn't show his height and weight. But I believe he looks like he's over 6. Must be 6'2" or so, or maybe a little more. Usually when you serve 140, you've got a couple inches over 6 at least. I'll find it in another way in a second. First serve is off the tape and in, so we've got a let. All right. So second serve. And that's what... Oh. Sorry, we had a let there before, so that was first serve. That one was wide. Now we've got a second serve. Serve is good. Paul, return is wide. That was a heavy kick on that one. Tough for Paul to tame it. He had to hit it really high. Let me see the contact point for Paul. Yeah, it was about at his forehead. It was really tough for Paul to get that under control. Smart play. And here we go. Now Shelton serve, comes up with the volley, but instead he does a drop shot and then backs up. Now Tommy Paul, beautiful volley, stab volley, cross court. Shelton gets to it, but it hits it wide. So we've got a deuce here in game number 7. Thank you, 707 Lady T. Shelton is 6'4". Thank you. Appreciate that. I was just pulling it up on Google, and you beat me to it. He's from Atlanta, Georgia. Nice. Okay. Here we are. Deuce. Serve is into the net. Second serve coming up. Serve is good. And again, a high kicker, but this time Paul can handle it. Now backhand from Paul. Drop shot from Shelton, and Paul can't get to it. Really good play there. He pulled Tommy Paul out to Paul's left-hand side, the backhand side, really far. And then once he got the return, nicely disguised. In the last second, he made a drop shot right up the line, the furthest distance for Paul, and Paul, no chance. I don't know the weight. Oh, don't worry. I'll either find it. But I was more interested in the height because of the fact that he can serve 140. I knew he was over 6. I just didn't know if it was like 6'2" or 6'4", 6'5" maybe. What a beautiful volley there from Shelton as Paul was coming in. Great hands. And, man, Shelton really nicely surprising. Peter here saying, okay, consensus, a long slugfest here? You might be right, my friend. These guys are hitting the crap out of the ball, and they're hitting it in. I'm going to hit a button here for Shelton. We'll come right back after and continue to dissect this wonderful tennis match.
Ooh, there's a boy in town called Shelton, Ben Shelton. Ooh, there's a boy in town, he's got those hearts melting. Ooh, Shelton, Shelton, Shelton. Ooh, oh, Ben Shelton, Ben Shelton, Shelton.
Yeah. So 707 Lady T, that was an awesome volley. Yeah, wasn't it? Oh, really great point there. This kid's impressing me, man. I thought he was more of a just a, power +1 type of guy, big serve, big forehand. And I know he's more than that, but I'm just saying as a 20-year-old to see how developed his hand skills are is very impressive. It's Alcaraz-esque in the sense that he's seems to be comfortable at the net for a young guy playing these professional, longtime professional tennis players. Okay, here's Tommy Paul serving on serve at 3-4. First serve is wide. 28 minutes in, so a nice pace to this one. Second serve is good. Now Shelton return up the middle. Tommy with the backhand. Now backhand Shelton, forehand Paul, forehand Shelton, forehand chip back is Paul. Now Shelton with a forehand slice and approaches the net, and Tommy Paul with a nice backhand pass. I thought Shelton, I thought he had him there. I thought it was a nice play. He comes in with this forehand slice, kind of like Vekic does in the last match. But Paul meets that on the backhand and just gets it past the forehand side of Shelton. Nice play there. So there we go. Now, first serve is good, and Shelton flails that one wide. So quickly 30 love for Tommy Paul. All right, here comes Tommy Paul, 30 love. Serve is long. Second coming up. All right, second serve is good. Shelton with the return long. Now, quick 40 love. So, will we have another game to love for Tommy Paul? So, the backhand spin dominance, 73% for Shelton, 95% for Tommy Paul. Don't know exactly what that means. Spin dominance specifically. Interesting. All right, here's the first serve at 40 love. Is long, and Ben Shelton almost hits the umpire in his little floating orb. Or is it a her? I can't even see actually who the umpire is. Maybe it is a... Oh, we'll find out later. All right, here we go. Backhand slice from Shelton. He approaches Tommy Paul off the net cord, and it bounces into the open court. So, game to love for Tommy Paul. And now Shelton serving at 4-all. I wonder if fatigue is going to come into play. He's played 2 back-to-back 5-setters, but he's also a youngster, 20 years old, probably living off this adrenaline of being in his first major and going 5 rounds deep. So let's see. Do a quick little like check. 23 likes. All right. All right. We're going to hit 100 today. I can feel it. It's going to happen. Big serve. 209 ace up the tee there. Apologies. He doesn't have back-to-back 5-set wins. He actually, in the first round, he went 5-set, and in the latest round before this one, he did. So he goes 5-3-3-5. So it'll be more of a general fatigue. I thought it was back-to-back there. My apologies. Oh, my gosh. He just missed a serve at 140. Now, second serve. Is good. Now backhand from Paul, forehand Shelton, backhand Paul, forehand Shelton, backhand Paul, backhand Shelton now is long. So 15 all. Beautiful sunshine pouring into the stadium. The entire court is lit up, so there's no sunshade mixture just yet. Big serve for Shelton up the tee, and that return is long. So 30-15. Very impressed with this guy's serve. Yeah, it makes sense. 6'4". I don't even, I wonder if you can even, is it possible to be 6'2" and serve in the 140s? Pretty sure it's possible, but it helps when you're taller. Here we go. Shelton now serving at 30-15 for serve into the net. There's a fault. Second serve here. Nice. Backhand return is wide from Paul. 40-15. Couple game points now for the 20-year-old from Atlanta. All right, Shelton. First serve out wide, but that serve itself is wide. Second coming up here. Shelton looking to take a 5-4 lead in the set. A little more pressure on Tommy. Nice kick serve. And then serve and volley, and he soft hands. He just dinks the volley towards the sideline. Beautifully done. And then he runs over to his bench. Man, I keep on giving Shelton the buttons because he keeps winning these points right before the commercial break. And I got to do it again.
Ooh, there's a boy in town called Shelton, Ben Shelton. Ooh, there's a boy in town, he's got those hearts melting. Ooh, Shelton, Shelton, Shelton. Ooh, oh, Ben Shelton, Ben Shelton, Shelton.
There you go, Ben Shelton. All right, real quick. So Shelton, this is his first major, and this is obviously the furthest he's gone, which is the quarterfinals, which is darn impressive. Let's take a look at Tommy Paul. He has made it. This is the furthest he's gone in the Australian Open, so the quarterfinals for the first time. He's gone to the French Open second round twice, 2020 and 2022. Wimbledon fourth round last year in 2022. And U.S. Open third round last year as well, 2022. So looks like Tommy Paul is starting to find himself as a professional tennis player. And some good results. Like I said, he beat Alcaraz in Montreal. Was it Montreal or Toronto? I think it was Montreal this year. They always alternate. And then he also beat Rafa recently. So some pretty good results here. We got Lexi in the chat as Shelton hits a slice. Another slice backhand. Tommy Paul backhand cross court. Forehand Shelton. Backhand Paul. And backhand slice Shelton. Forehand Tommy Paul. Backhand Shelton into the net. Lexi says, Covey, hello, going for Shelton. Yes, I am too. Although I do like Tommy Paul, I really like the story of Shelton, like the big serve, and he's got this massive grin on his face, rivaling, I would say, Tiafo in that regard of happiness, and also Jabeur, who is the Minister of Happiness. Thanks again, Lexi, for joining us. Give us a like button if you can. I'm trying to hit 100 likes for the first time on my own, and would love to play that button. Nice from Shelton, pushes Tommy Paul back as Paul was coming forward, and wrong foots him going front to back instead of the normal side to side. So 15 all here. We have Alexander, my man from Los Angeles, Alexander Lawrence or Lawrence. I always say the French one when it's spelled that way. If it was Lawrence, I'd say Lawrence. But whenever I see that, I say Laurence. So if that bothers you, please let me know. If not, I'm running with it. Anyways, Kyrio should be here. Yep. Surgery was successful, though, so that's good news. And then Lexi says, ha ha ha, the button of Ben. Yeah, it's pretty emotional, right? You could tell that Ben... and then Lady T says Ben Button. Benjamin Button. Lexi's not digging Tommy Paul. No, huh? And yeah, I was going to ask the same thing. Why, Lexi? Asked Lady and myself. All right, so what do we got? 4 aces to 2 for Shelton. Paul here, 30-15. Serve is good. Now, forehand. Backhand return from Shelton. Now the other way for Paul, and that's into the open court winner. 40-15. So neither of these players are letting up much at all on their serve. Shelton has faced one break point and saved it, and Tommy Paul has yet to face one. Exact same percentage on first serve, 61. Points won, Shelton 74, Paul's got 86, so that's a really high number. And second serve points won, 78-67 for Paul. All right, forehand now into the net from Shelton. So there you have it, game, and we are at 5-all, and I think it's time that we give Tommy Paul some love.
Tommy Paul. 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 Tommy Paul.
All right, 5-all. Ben Shelton now serving. Woo, pretty impressive here from the 20-year-old. Now we got a forehand Shelton as he steps up. Now he's at the net. Tommy Paul with a lob pushes Shelton back as that is long. It was close, though. 15 love for Ben Shelton. Okay. Florida Gator. That's where he played, did Ben Shelton. All right, here we go. Serve is up. Tommy Paul, nice deep return. Forehand up the line from Shelton is long. So it's 15-all. Wow, converts early breaks. Shelton is at 91%. Paul's at 76%, and the Australian Open average is 78%. So, although no one's even really seeing breaks right now. All right, forehand inside out from Paul as he goes from Shelton, and he goes to the net. Tommy Paul, his forehand there goes long, and Shelton lets it go. fly over his head. 30-15 Shelton. We're getting near the business end, y'all. Here's Shelton. Serve is wide. Took a lot off that first serve to send it wide. 177, well below his first serve average, but it was a smart play. Just didn't execute. All right, Tommy Paul steps in inside out. Shelton can't handle that and hits it way wide. So we've got a 30-all game here. Shelton feeling a tiny bit of pressure, not too much. I think his serve is so big that until he's actually facing a break point, maybe he's used to feeling confident. Okay. Ooh, the collar on their shirts are pretty cool. So it's a black collar, but with a white triangle pattern kind of going around. Almost looks like a puka shell necklace or something. Ace up the tee for Shelton, and that sets up game point here at 40-30. All right. 192 kilometer per hour serve speed. All right, here's Shelton. Serve is long. Second serve here at game point. Serve is up. Ball is good. Return from Paul is nice and deep. Now another forehand from Paul. Backhand Shelton. Backhand Paul is long, and it's 6-5 Shelton. How about it? Another one. We got to give Shelton that one.
Ooh, there's a boy in town called Shelton, Ben Shelton. Ooh, there's a boy in town, he's got those hearts melting. Ooh, Shelton, Shelton, Shelton. Ooh, oh, Ben Shelton. Ben Shelton, Shelton.
All right, so Ben Shelton here, quite the pedigree. So check this out. It says, Shelton is the son of former professional tennis player and Florida Gators men's tennis coach Brian Shelton. His mother, Lisa Witsken Shelton, was a highly ranked junior tennis player. His uncle, Todd Witsken, was a professional tennis player, and his sister Emma played college tennis at Florida. So there is tennis running in that DNA for sure. Yeah, boy. I think he's going to have a wonderful career, this guy. And I'm really excited to watch it. So after this match, we're going to have Rublev versus Djokovic. And the winner of that will play the winner of this in the semifinals. I'm excited. Are you excited? Let me know. Let me know. We're here in... All right, here we go. As Tommy Paul's first serve is fault. Second is good. And Ben Shelton is long on the return. So 15-love to Tommy Paul. All right. 43 people watching along with me. Thank you all for joining. Let me know who you think's going to win in the comments. Nice return up the line for by Shelton. Now Shelton with a cross-court forehand. Backhand Tommy Paul. Forehand Shelton is long. 30-love Tommy Paul, and we're 2 Paul points away from a tiebreak. So Tommy Paul about 3 inches shorter than Shelton, 6'1" versus 6'3", or 6'4". All right, let on the first serve. We'll have another first serve here at 30-love. Okay, now the second first serve is into the net. Here's the second serve. Nice serve. Backhand return by Shelton. And then Tommy Paul's forehand goes long, just past the baseline. 30-15. We got Landon Lowe in the chat saying, I feel like whoever wins this set wins the match. I don't disagree with that sentiment. I mean, you never know, but there is a little bit of that feeling to this set. That's a astute call there, Landon. Let's see. And thanks for chiming in. Appreciate anytime someone comes in. If you're watching and you've never commented before, you feel a little like, oh, should I do it? Should I not do it? You know, go for it. Ask me anything. I'm from Vancouver, BC, Canada. I love tennis. You have any questions for me, shoot them my way. I'll answer them as many as I can. But yeah. All right, here's Shelton now coming back with a couple of points after Paul started this game 30-love. So now we're 2 points away from a set and also a tiebreak. How about that? All right, here we go. 30-all. First serve is long. So a little bit of pressure now for Tommy Paul for the first time. He hasn't even faced a break point, but this is a big moment here. Second serve. And it's a nice kicker, and Shelton can't handle it on his backhand. Serves, hits it way wide. Tries to go up the line, but missed it by quite a few feet there. And it's now game point for Tommy Paul. And just a point away from a tiebreak. All right, serve is good from Paul out wide. Now Shelton backhand, Tommy Paul forehand, Shelton backhand, Paul forehand, Shelton backhand, Paul forehand, Shelton backhand, Paul forehand up the line, Shelton forehand, Paul backhand, Shelton forehand, Tommy Paul forehand, Shelton a slice forehand, Paul with the backhand. Now he comes to the net and a beautiful volley from Tommy Paul, and that'll do it for the game. We are going to a tiebreak, y'all. All right, y'all. Predictions, get them in right now. Whoever, if anyone gets the correct score, and obviously who wins, I am gonna give you a free button. So predictions in right after this. All right. Okay, we got Adam in the house saying 7-3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save these. I have a way to save all these. And then at the end of the tiebreak, we're going to see who won it. And like I said, you get a free button. So get them in there. I'm going to accept predictions until the fourth point of the tiebreak. So that's one. You only have 3 more. So if anyone wants a button, take a shot. Landon Lowe is in with a 7-4 Shelton. All right. I'm going to go ahead and say 8-6 Shelton, the rare even number score. Oh, is it that rare? Well, I think it's rarer. All right, you got anyone else? You got 2 more points here before Shelton's return here. Nice forehand from Shelton. Now, the second forehand goes long, so 1-all here. Warnock with a 9-7 Shelton. All right, so far it's all Shelton in the tiebreak. Hunting third shot forehand. Interesting. The stats are getting really intricate these days. Nice, beautiful serve out wide by Tommy Paul, and lobbed by Shelton. Didn't go over. I leaned in because I wasn't sure if that was going to go over the net. It was that close. All right. Last chance to anyone make a guess. Now it's 2-1. We're on serve. Shelton is serving here. 1-2 in the tiebreak. Beautiful serve up the tee. Nice return. Now Shelton with a drop shot. Tommy Paul gets to it. Oh, and it goes just long. I thought that was gonna drop in. So Shelton with the drop shot. Tommy Paul gets to it, and it's like a backhand. He goes up the line past Shelton, and it looked like he actually was going to get it, but the ball just barely goes long. Lucky there for Shelton, I'd say. All right, 2-all Shelton here is serving. First serve is long. Okay. Second serve, Shelton. Up the tee. Tommy Paul cannot handle it. Beautiful. 3-2, and we are still on serve. Everyone has held so far. Yeah. Okay, Tommy Paul serve out wide. Nice return, Shelton. Tommy Paul steps in, and he goes inside out for the winner. 3-all at the changeover. So Lexi is explaining here. She says, I don't like Tommy Paul. And then I asked why, and so did Lady T. And then Lexi says, it started during the Laver Cup when he made fun of Stefanos, and it became too personal. And that was at the exhibition match at the Laver Cup. Okay, I can see that. Peach is saying, feels like this match will go to 5 sets. Yeah, it does have a little bit of that feel. No one has broken, barely a sniff, just one break point opportunity in the whole match so far. All right, here we go. Nice serve from Tommy Paul out wide. Shelton cannot handle it. So we are still on serve. Everyone has held their mini service holds. 7 out of 7. Shelton now serving at 3-4. Peaches wants Paul to win. Come on, Paul. All right. There you go. First serve up the tee is long. So a look at a second serve here for Tommy Paul. Serve is good. Oh, a weak return. Shelton gets to it and rips a forehand, and then Tommy Paul has a backhand into the open court, but it's long. Woo! So Tommy Paul had a weird mishit that landed very short. It was almost like, I mean, if he even tried to do that he could have done it on purpose because of the way he swung. But it was like, they're not showing this replay. I want to see how that came off his racket. Anyways, we're at on serve here at 4. Shelton with the first serve is good. Now, forehand from Shelton off the net court, and he gets the lucky bounce, and it's 5-4. He puts his hand up as if to say, my bad, buddy. I wasn't trying to do that. And then inside his own head, he was like, but I'm going to take it anyways. Yeah, he ripped a he was backing up, running around the backhand, hits a forehand off the tape, goes about 3 or 4 feet in the air, and lands just on the other side of the net. So here we go, Paul. At 4-5 now, serving. Serves up the tee. Shelton can't handle that, and it goes long. 5-all. Woo, it's getting a little bit nervy here, although these players are not showing it. I'm getting nervous here. Peter says, right, Peaches? Right. Peaches has the 5-set feel. Yeah, I don't disagree with either of you there. Nice serve up the middle, back forehand, actually. I keep forgetting sometimes because he's a lefty. Forehand return from Shelton into the net. So we have our first set point. Shelton is serving at 5-6. Still yet to have our first mini break of the tie break. So 11 straight points. So these guys are really solid on serve. Shelton first serve is good out wide, and the return is long, and we do a changeover. 6-all. Will this set ever end? That's a question. So far, 54 minutes in. All right, we're at 35 likes. I love it. I love it. We're on pace to get that 100. And remember as well, our goal here at the GTL Tennis Podcast on the YouTube channel is to hit 50,000 subscribers. So far, 49,600, so just under 400. That's not many at all, and we are going to hit it before the end of this tournament, y'all. All right, here we go. 6-all. We have changed ends, and Shelton with a big serve up the middle. Return up the middle. Backhand Paul. Backhand Shelton. Forehand Paul. Backhand Shelton. Forehand Paul. Backhand Shelton into the net. And we have our first mini break. Tommy Paul now has the first set on his racket. He's got a couple of serves if he needs. Well, he'll only need one if he wins this one. But anyways, yeah, first mini break, 7-6 Paul, and he's got the ball on his racket here. So let's see. Let's see if he can close it out, or does Ben Shelton have a little more magic in his racket here in this set. Here we go. Tommy Paul. Nice serve. Return up the middle. Now backhand Paul. Forehand Shelton. Forehand Paul. Backhand Shelton. Forehand Paul. Backhand Shelton. Forehand Paul. Backhand Shelton is off the net. Does not make it over. And there you have it. 7-6 for Tommy Paul. And he has taken the set. So it looks like no one's going to get the free button because everyone had Shelton. So thank you for trying, everyone. But there you go. We got Landon Lowe saying prediction in the mud. All right, y'all. I am going to be back in just a second. I just need to freshen up, if you know what I mean, because I drank a huge cup of coffee to wake myself up after a big dinner. So I'm just going to hit a button here. It's a little take a break button. I'm not going to be on it for too long. I'll be back in about a minute and a half or so, right in time for the second set. See you guys in just a sec.
There should be no special rules for Novak Djokovic at all.
Hey, welcome back, tennis fans. Here we are for something groundbreaking. Some might call it trial of the century. Some might call it trial of all time.
We did not expect to be covering the first Djokovic watch-along of the year, and he's not playing an opponent. He's playing him against the state. Shout out to everyone joining us. Of course, we've never had so many people in the live chat. I feel like this is the perfect opportunity to bring all 23,000 of you up to date with what's happened so far.
Did not think by the third set Ben would be rooting for Rafa and JG would be wishing it's all over. Yeah, a bit weird.
I mean, I just want the pain to end.
I don't even care if he's crawling on his knees and hitting the ball over the net by the fifth. If he gets there, it'll be incredible.
I'm just calling it as it is. I'm trying to be objective watching the match, and he's lost the match. What do you want me to do?
He hasn't lost it. He's still in it. Why do you keep saying he's lost it?
You think? Okay, put a bet on then. What odds would you get on Rafa? 2 sets down.
8s.
Just take a bet on. Seeing as he's not out.
I was just disappointed you're not supporting your man.
No, you're being delusional, Ben. Just grow up.
Not supporting your man.
Delusional.
Not supporting your man. Come on, you guys. What are you doing? I feel like I'm rallying for all of the Rafa fans out there now. Crazy.
Yeah, because you just need to grow up, mate. Like, be realistic.
I've watched tennis many times. I've seen comebacks many times.
Okay. You seen Medvedev lose from this position? Don't think so.
Anything can happen.
It's so good! He's done it!
Rafael Nadal has won his 21st Grand Slam. He's beaten Daniel Medvedev 7-5 in the 5th set. It's just been an absolute epic occasion. I can't believe he's done it. Rafael Nadal.
What?
2nd time Australian Open champion. But...
All right, folks. Thank you for your patience as we had a little bit of a break between sets. Tommy Paul takes the first one in a tiebreaker, 7-6. And here we go now. Paul serving. He's up 15-love, and he just makes it 30-love as he hits a forehand cross-court winner on Shelton there. All right. 30-love, Tommy Paul. So starting off where he ended the last set successfully. Got my iced tea mix here. It's really good. No sugar, too. All right. Tommy Paul with a +1 into the open court. Inside out forehand. And it is 40 love. Will we have a game to love? Let's see. Peter says, Covey, hold the fort. See you later. Take care, Peter. Enjoy the match later. I'm assuming you're probably going to watch that one. I think most of those people. Peaches, it says, Peter, see you, Peter. Enjoy the no-lay match. See you at Novak Andre. All right, buddy. You have a good one. He says, I'll be biting my nails, Peaches. All right. Okay, so game to love. Easy peasy for Tommy Paul.
Tommy Paul. Tommy Paul. Tommy Paul. Tommy Paul. Tommy Paul. Tommy Paul. Tommy Paul. Tommy Paul. Tommy Paul. Tommy Paul. Tommy Paul. Tommy Paul.
All right, there you go. There we go. One love for Paul. And off on the right foot here. Okay. Here's Shelton. How will the youngster acquit himself? Got the black wristband on the right wrist. The orange wristband on the left wrist does Shelton. Tommy Paul, he does his little racket flip before the return. All right, here's Paul again. Serve is good. Backhand return, Paul. Forehand, Shelton. Backhand, Paul. Oh, great angle. Shelton just got an end of his racket on that, but no chance to get it back in. So Tommy Paul looking solid right now. Oh, man, what a great backhand. He got a wonderful angle on that. All right, Shelton. Oh, tries to go ace up the tee, but it was just a little long. So second serve at love 15 is good. No, it's long. So it's love 30 now. Double fault here. Just his second double fault of the match. So let's do some stat stuff. We got 8. So Shelton, 8 winners. Paul, 15. Unforced errors, 12 for Shelton. 6 for Paul. Aces for all. Double fault, 2 now for Shelton. All right, and he follows that up with an ace. So 15-30 now. Beautiful ace out wide. Tommy Paul. Tommy Paul. Okay. Here's Shelton again. Serve is good. Paul with a block return, but that goes in the net. And it's 30 all now. Wonder here. Nice serve and volley from Shelton, and then a little drop shot. Tommy Paul gets to it, but rips backhand, and it goes long. So nice play by Shelton, throwing something different at him. His dad, it looks like his dad, I think, who's his coach, or maybe he's giving him some pointers from the stands. As we all know, you are allowed to communicate with your players if they're on your side as of last year. All right, second serve here for Shelton at 40-30. Backhand return, Paul. Shelton, forehand, backhand, Paul. Forehand, Shelton, backhand, Paul. Forehand, Shelton, off the tape, and he gets another lucky bounce. It lands on Paul's side. Game point. So that's a couple of them that goes his way, that drop Shelton's way, and it's 1-all. Looks like coach leaning over the glass and telling him some stuff. Iced tea. Woo. Okay, Alexander saying Paul is hard to beat. It's looking tough right now, that's for sure. I should have gone with my head, although, hey, it's still early. All right, nice lob return from Shelton. Tommy Paul forehand, and then Shelton backhand into the net. Here's Paul, 15 love. Now Shelton with the backhand. Tommy Paul can't handle that. He hits a forehand off of that long and wide. So 5-all here. I feel like right now, Shelton, like I just have the feeling that if like Paul were to be able to get a break here, he'd kind of be able to take some pressure off of himself, because the youngster might get discouraged if he goes down a break. So if he could do that in the next game, I think it would behoove him to try to really put pressure on Shelton to see, to put that pressure and see what sort of metal he has in him. All right, so we had a backhand from Paul, forehand slice Shelton. Tommy Paul comes in and hits a volley into the open court. 30-15. All right, here's first serve. Shelton with the stab return is long. 40-15 for Paul. Game point. Okay, serve is up and into the net. Second serve coming. All right, nice serve up the tee. Shelton can't, he's out extended reach, but can't get it back in play. So there you go, folks. 2-1 for Tommy Paul, cruising right now. And let's give him one more button. He deserves it.
Tommy Paul. 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 Tommy
Paul. Tommy Paul. Okay. 39 likes. All right. Let's see if we can hit that 100 mark. That's the goal. And also help us hit that 50,000 subscription mark. That's what we're going for. We're just about 400 away. You could be that 50,000 subscriber. So help us out. We're trying to hit this goal before the end of the Aussie Open. All right, what do we got in the chats? Manoris is in the house. Yo, Covey. What's up, Manoris? Good to have you. We have Ankur Kotoki is saying Novak to beat Rublev 3-2 epic. You think Rublev could take 2 sets off him, huh? I feel like Novak's form is too good for that at the moment. Manoris says, don't get used to this. To the pick, it's for Jinx Novak against Rublev. There you go. All right, but Ben Shelton now serving at 1-2 on serve, down a set. Serve is good. Now Paul forehand. Shelton with the forehand. Tommy Paul forehand cross court. Shelton backhand into the net. So he's hit a few backhands into the net. That strategy that Paul seems to be deploying is working well on the Shelton backhand. All right, Shelton serve out wide, but too wide. Didn't make it in the service box. All right, second serve is good. Nice kicker, but great return as well from Paul. Now, Tommy Paul's second backhand on that side goes long. 15-all. Manoris, funny. Don't get used to the pick. It's for Jinx Novak against Rublev. All right, here's Paul. Shelton, gosh. I keep calling. Serve wide. Second serve coming up. Second serve from Shelton. Out wide. Backhand return. Paul. Forehand Shelton. Backhand Paul. But that forehand from Shelton was long. It was a close call. So Little bit of daylight. So this is what I was talking about. Paul is now, he's 15-30, so he's 2 points away from a break. If he could find a way to get that break, it's been really tough to break this kid, but would it discourage him? Maybe give Tommy Paul a little breathing room, because this whole first set was just tense. Okay, here we go. Shelton with the forehand. Backhand Paul is long. 30 all. All right, 30 all. First serve is long. Got Menorah saying, Jessica quarterfinal done it again. So happy for Vika, though. My dark horse still riding dirty. Yeah, she's doing great. Playing some great all-court tennis. Her backhand slice is killer. And just effort. All right, so here we go. Tommy Paul is trying to listen to my advice. I'm sure he wasn't going to try and do this on his own without my advice. Just kidding. It's a break point opportunity for Tommy Paul. Can he relieve a little bit of pressure on his service game by getting a break point getting a break early here in the second set? All right, serve is into the net. So second serve, Tommy Paul gets a look at for the break point opportunity. Nice serve out wide, backhand return, and then forehand up the line from Shelton was a nice one. Yeah, the ball was actually, when he struck it, was below the net, and he hit it over the high part of the net. And then he really whipped it. It went up and back down. Oh yeah, that was a low contact point. That was impressive. And then Tommy Paul got a piece of it, but no, not even close to the net. And now Shelton, another serve up the tee. So two impressive serves to get out of a break, and now he's got the advantage. And gotta say, the guts on this guy, on this Shelton kid, impressive. All right. Serve and volley from Shelton is no good, as the volley part of that, the ball was hit to his feet as he was approaching. He couldn't handle that attempted volley. Tommy Paul smartly dips it really low after it goes over the net. Okay, back to deuce, and another big serve from Shelton. Paul cannot handle that, goes wide. And another advantage, Shelton. Ankur Kotoki saying, I have a silly bet on this match over 2.5 tie breaks at 760. You know what? That might not be a bad one, man. I mean, we've just seen a break point opportunity here, but there's only been two in the entire match. So could be a pretty good bet for you. All right, as Ben Shelton hits a forehand into the net, they're back to deuce. So not out of the woods just yet. All right, serve is good, right at the body of Paul. Paul just chips it back. Now we've got a forehand Shelton, forehand Paul, forehand Shelton, and that's a winner. He wrong foots Paul, so another game point here for Ben Shelton. Nice. Ooh, looks like I need to grab my charger plug for the old laptop. Actually, it's a new laptop. Just got it this recently. All right, a beautiful serve +1 forehand cross court winner for a 2-all scoreline here in set number 2, as Tommy Paul took the first set in a tie break. Okay, here we are. Tommy Paul serving. First serve is a fault. Serve is good and goes +1 on the inside-out forehand. Shelton actually got to it, but barely, as he had to run all the way across the entire court's width. Yeah. So it's 30 degrees right now in Melbourne, which is pretty hot to be playing some high-level tennis. So there is a little bit of cloud coverage, which kind of coming in and out to help. But there you go. Tommy Paul hits a forehand long, so 15 all here. All right, here's Tommy Paul, 15 all. Serve is good up the tee. Return is a nice one, and Paul's forehand flails wide. So now Paul is at 15-30, and there's a tiny bit of daylight perhaps for Shelton to get a chance at his first break point of the match. So Shelton has faced 2 break points and saved both of them. Paul has yet to face a break point. Now here's Paul. Serve is up. Shelton with the nice return cross court. Now Paul with the backhand. Shelton forehand. Forehand Paul. And it's long. So 2 break points now. Or maybe 1 if he wins this next point for Shelton. But yeah, 15-40. So now let's see if Shelton is the one who's going to try and relieve a little bit of pressure by taking the first break of the match. Here we go. First serve into the net. All right. Big moments here. Big moments. Serve is good and return is long. So 1 break point saved for Tommy Paul. But Ben Shelton does have another look here. Manor is saying Saba versus Lynette semifinal. I swear Saba losing that semifinal, I have no hope. It would be a massive shame for her, although it would be great for Lynette. But I mean, I want Saba to finally hold a trophy. And you're right, that would actually be devastating for her. Not to take anything away from Lynette. All right, great rally going on here. Forehand Shelton. Oh, right when I start calling it, forehand from Shelton is long. So 2 break point saved for Tommy Paul. So both players now have faced and saved 2 break points. Oh gosh, he missed that by just a couple of millimeters, did Shelton. Too bad. Yeah, Lynette on serve has been absolutely impressive. She's just riding this wave, this hot streak. Tommy Paul here. Serve is good. Shelton can't handle that one. So the return goes way long. So advantage now for Tommy Paul. Nice serve out wide. Nice return from Shelton. And then Paul goes all the way to the other side. Cross-court forehand winner. And both these players are just, I'm not going to say rock solid, but rock solid on serve. And let's give a little love to Tommy Paul.
Tommy Paul. Tommy Paul. Tommy Paul. Tommy Paul. Tommy Paul. Tommy Paul. Tommy Paul. Tommy Paul. Tommy Paul. Tommy Paul. Tommy Paul. Tommy Paul. Tommy Paul. Tommy Paul. Tommy Paul.
Tommy Paul. Tommy Tsunami. Okay, all righty. So what else going on, y'all? We got 70 people in the watching. Feel free to drop us a comment if you're new. give us a like, a subscribe. We're trying to hit 100 likes on this specific stream. Also trying to hit 50,000 subscribers. We're only 400 away. And there you go. Andrew Green, that button doesn't have a lot of words. No, just 2 names that said over and over. Tommy Paul. Tommy Paul. You know which button does have a lot of words is the Kennen button, my favorite button. That button goes so hard, y'all. It is crazy. Might have to play it at some point. Just cuz. All right, Shelton, nice serve. And Tommy Paul backhand into the net. I'm going to see if the Kennen button's in here. People are probably wondering, why is this guy always playing the Kennen button? What's with him and Kennen? It's not Kennen. It's the button. No offense to Kennen. Okay. Shelton trying to go up the tee with an ace, but that one is just long. Good try there. Oh, yeah, there's a Kennen button. It is there. It hasn't been removed. And we got another double fault. Just the second. Or is it third now? This scoreboard thing is always kind of tricking me. Okay, first serve now again at 15 all is long. Yeah, that was the second double fault. Okay, Paul with a backhand into the net. So Shelton now has a 35 lead. All right, here's Shelton. 30-15. First serve is good. And then serve and volley. Oh, and his volley is just a little bit long. I like what he's trying to do there. But looked like Tommy Paul was ready for it, though. Okay, 30 all now. First serve is good out wide. Tommy Paul with a block return. Shelton tries to do a drop shot, but it hits the top of the tape and lands on the wrong side of the net if you are Ben Shelton. So there you go. Break point. So now they're coming in bunches, which you can call it bunches. There's 2 in the first set. Now there's been 3 here in the second. And let's see. Shelton under pressure. All right. First serve is long. Shelton thought it was an ace up the tee. Actually, to be honest, so did I. Second serve. Break point. Nice serve out wide, and return is wide as well. So keeps on saving them under pressure. Nicely done by the 20-year-old. Wow. Oh my goodness, what a crazy stat. 67 straight service holds for Ben Shelton. 67. This guy's 20 years old and he's playing his first major. Wow. All right, serve is good. Now backhand Paul, backhand slice Shelton is long. You could tell he knew it the second he hit that slice. He kind of made a little gesture. We got we got Michael Walker saying Paul is playing better. Andrew saying, I like Vika's sorry you're old. Is that in the button or something? Honora saying the experience is winning at the moment. Yeah, up a set. And Paul's got a second break point here. And he's facing a second serve. So let's see. Can he finally break through? Be the first person in 67 games to break Shelton. And he is, as Shelton hits his forehand wide. Wow. So it took 67 games. 68th game he gets broken after holding 67 straight. So Tommy Paul now has a little bit of breathing room, finally, because this has been such a tight match so far. So fatigue, I wonder if it is playing a factor here. Shelton was walking around kind of sucking in some air after that service game. Tommy Paul comes into the net. His first point on the overhead, and he smashes it into the open court. 15-love. He's up 1 set and a break here, serving at 4-2. Okay, first serve is a fault. Second serve. Okay. Tommy Paul, second serve is a let. Another one coming up. Tommy Paul. All right, now the first serve again. This time it's in the net. Now second serve is good. Shelton is long on the return. 30-love. So Shelton looks like a little bit, looks like the fatigue is setting in. He's kind of, he basically looks like he's gonna get a second win, but he hasn't gotten it yet. All right. Serve out wide from Paul. Backhand slice return is into the net. So real quick here, Paul up 40-love, and he looks like he's cruising. So I wouldn't be surprised if this set goes something like 6-2, 6-3, and then we get back onto a tight set in the next one. Well, let's see. Tommy Paul, fault here. Second serve coming in. We got King of Just saying Tommy Paul, and several American flags following that. Shelton, another backhand into the net, and it's a game to love for Tommy Paul. He is rolling. He is cruising. And also, we forgot to hit this button. And also, he consolidated right there. So how about this? King of Just. What's up, Covey and everyone? What up, King of Just in the house? Peaches saying Paul is dialed in for sure. The baby is not ready for this yet, but play on, baby Shelton. I think you may be right, Peaches, unless he gets a second wind. And even still, Tommy Paul is just dialed in. I should have gone with my head, but I went with my heart like an idiot. Just kidding. I'm not an idiot. I'm pretty sweet. Here we go. What are we at? 44 likes. Okay. Come on. You guys, this is the deal. I want to get 100 likes on a stream. I still haven't done it. And then I can hit the 100 likes button. So we have 58 people watching, and we have 44 likes. So smash that button. Let's just get there real quick. And yeah, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Hey, King of Just saying, who will Djokovic play after he beats Bue? What's Bue? I've seen that a few times. Yeah. Michael Walker saying, it's his first time out of the country. Ben doing just fine. Yes, never left the United States ever. He leaves for the first time at age 20 to go 5 rounds deep into an Australian Open. Unreal. What a story. All right, Shelton with a nice serve out wide. It's an ace, 30-love. So he looks like he's doing a little bit better. Another ace out wide. Beautiful. Look at this. Is he going to go for another one? Okay, that's what I thought. I figured it had something to do with Rublev. Well, thank you for letting me know. Now when I see that, I will not continue to wonder. How about that? 3 straight aces to end it and a game to love. So maybe he's not done just yet, but he still has lots of work to do. Game to love for Shelton. Okay, so Tommy Paul now 5-3 serving for a 2-set to love lead. Can Shelton bring some magic, get his first break of the entire match? Let's see. Tommy Paul serve into the net. Okay, now first point goes to Shelton as Tommy Paul hits a backhand into the net. Michael Walker, Carl, what is your ancestors? Caribbean? You're not asking me, are you? I'm Covey. I'm just wondering who Carl is. If you are asking me, let me know and I will tell you. But if you, well, I'll just tell you now. My parents are from India, but I have a feeling you might not be asking me that question. All right, Shelton there. Backhand goes long, so 15 all for Tommy Paul. Now just 3 points away from a 2-set to love lead. All right. First serve is off the... Nope, it's a fault. Second serve out wide. Nice return deep from Shelton. Now another backhand from Shelton. This one into the net. So 30-15, Tommy Paul. Get a little more comfy here. Hi, Gobi. Okay, we got a forehand Shelton, backhand Paul, backhand Shelton, forehand Paul, backhand Shelton into the net. That's happened quite a few times. Here we go. And an ace up the tee at 40-15. So there you have it, folks. The set goes to Tommy Paul, 2-set to love lead. And now he is just 1 set away from his first Grand Slam semi-final. Woo! We'll give a button and we'll get right back in just a second.
Tommy Paul. 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 Tommy Paul.
All right, King of Just is asking, is Ben short for Benjamin? So I went on the Wikipedia page and it does not say, it just says Ben Shelton. And normally I think on Wikipedia they give you the whole shebang, and it says no middle name either. So I also have no middle name actually. Oh, Shelton's a finance major. How about that? Okay. So we got Michael Walker says these damn Americans can't be stopped. Gene in the house. Welcome, Gene. Always great to have Gene. Says, hey, Covey, the more experienced American winning it so far. The Shelton kid will be around for many more years for sure. And I just read a stat that he had 68 consecutive holds before it got broken. Yes. Yeah, we were just mentioning that. I think it was just a couple of games ago. So if you're just joining us, you would have missed it. But yes, we were just mentioning that he was on 67 straight holds, and then he just got broken on the 68th. So yes, but thank you for that. And also, King Adjust is saying, "What up, Gene?" All right, so we got a little break here. Anyone have questions? If you have a question for me, let me know. Or does anyone here in the chat or anyone watching think that A, Shelton can come back, and B, Rublev, does he have a chance whatsoever against Djokovic? Gene saying, just woke up. Adam. Boy. Nicely done. And then Michael is telling us that Gene just woke up. And Gene saying, excited for Novak Rublev. Yeah, I mean, after that last match from Novak, some of the best ball striking I've seen. I mean, he's always that guy, but wow. Rublev has beaten him, and he beat him in the finals. I watched that match. It was when it was in Serbia at Novak's home tournament, and it's a 250 on clay. And Rublev, this was at that period where Djokovic was just getting back into playing tournaments, and he was literally sucking so much wind. He had like no gas whatsoever. And then a couple tournaments, I think the next tournament after that was Madrid, where he was starting to play better. He still wasn't 100% Djokovic, but that was when he lost to Alcaraz. And then right after that, he won Rome, and that's when he was kind of cruising. So Rublev's win was in a final. It was in Novak's hometown, but I don't think the circumstances were they were very favorable to Rublev, as Djokovic was still getting his legs going. And Gene said he bageled Novak too. Yeah, how about that? Garud, so far, it's looking like yes. The answer is yes. Novak, last match he played was the first match in this tournament where he said he was absolutely pain-free. There was nothing to hinder him. So, yeah. Yes, he did have, that was an amazing match. He was actually up 1-0, and then Alcaraz came back. And then Alexander Lawrence, where are all the high-ranking players? Not in Australia, it seems. Covey, are you, I remember that in Belgrade, exactly. Yeah, it was it was really, Novak he didn't have his legs yet. He was still not used to playing three-set matches, and he was playing in the third set there. Alexander Laurent, should Nick Kyrgios be on the Mount Rushmore of tennis? Not in my opinion, not unless he wins something big. Skill-wise, he's there, but results-wise, I don't think so. Liam H saying, hey, folks, welcome, Liam. Thanks for joining the chat. Okay, let's see here. Shelton serving at 30-15, kicking off the third set. Gets to serve first, so potentially has a chance to put some pressure on Paul, but Paul looks like easy breezy at the moment. Nice second serve out wide, and Paul with a good return, but Shelton's backhand off of that was wide. So 30 all now. Garud, is Novak the best in tennis history? If someone's asking me to choose one player to win one match to save my life, which is kind of like the ultimate, like what would you do? I think I might choose Novak. I would choose Novak. I think he just has just that little bit extra something. Though I don't think you could go wrong with several other players. But yeah, that's my answer to that. Gene answering your question, saying very soon, Garud. Yeah, I think after he passes Rafa, which I believe he will, then all the other stats he's already kind of got in favor, other than an Olympic gold. All right, nice rally going on here. Forehand Shelton, backhand Paul, drop shot Shelton. Tommy Paul gets to it and rips it cross court. Smart play by Tommy Paul. He raced up to it and made sure that he contacted the ball before it dropped below the net level, so that way he could just put it away. Shelton, I like what he was trying to do, but there was way too much height on that. Actually, it wasn't too bad. Maybe not way too much. There was a bit too much, but not way too much. Yeah, this was a crazy 3 days. Because I'm a massive Carlos fan, so I was waking up in the middle of Spain time and just watching some early tennis, and it was awesome. And also the quality of the matches were great. I mean, the Zverev one wasn't so much. He just demolished them. But he was still, the way he was striking the ball was very impressive. And then weirdly enough, he had that playbook on Zverev, did Alcaraz, but then he didn't use that in the French Open. He wasn't doing the same thing that he was doing, which was forcing the ball to Zverev's forehand and waiting for some errors. He just kept on going to the backhand and getting beat. It was so weird. Anyways, let's see. Peach is saying, feel Nole versus Rublev will be one-sided. Rube will not hold it together, and Nole will play on that and win. I personally think Rublev is going to be in tough to even get a single set. That's my sentiment. But again, we got to play it out and see what happens. All right, we got Liam saying, presuming Novak gets to 22 in this slam, it makes the French Open so interesting. If Novak can get to 23 on Rafa's favorite slam, it cements him easily. How annoyed do you think Novak would be if he wins this one and then Rafa wins again in Paris? And then he's like, come on, man, I just leveled up with you. Okay. And Gene saying he will or he would be, I guess, if he does that, the first man in the open era to win all three slams at least all the slams at least 3 times. Yes, because he's won 3 US and he's got 2 French. He's got 9, and he's got 7 Wimbledon. 9 here in Oz and 7 Wimbledon. So that's all off my head. So I think I'm pretty accurate on that. Not even Laver has done that, says Gene. All right, Tommy Paul here, serving on serve, up 2 sets to love at 0-1 in set number 3. He's got the first 2 points here, 30 love. Michael with an interesting one here saying, I'd pick Nadal at Roland Garros for my life over Novak at Australia. Yeah, now I'm still a little skeptical about Nadal. Is he going to be back ready for this? I mean, if he can be ready for anything, it's going to be the French Open. His results have been really tough in the since pretty much like November, or even, since the US Open. And I just haven't seen him kind of break through and get to his level, like the top level in quite a while. And the longer he's been away from that, the tougher it's going to be to get to there. But I really hope that he does some magic there, because it would just be great theater for tennis if say Nadal were to win that again for a crazy 15th time. All right, Shelton with a forehand here. Now he tries to go with a drop shot, but he completely missed it. Literally, the ball bounced like 3 feet in front of him. So Shelton here now love 15 at 1-0 on serve. Arthur Mueller is asking, has Shelton got a chance? I'm going to go ahead and say no. Paul is just a little bit too solid. Shelton also looks like he's getting a bit fatigued. He has played a couple 5-setters, and it is really hot day out there, 30 degrees Celsius, as Shelton there hits a backhand, a wide, and now it's love 30. So I'm going to go ahead and say I don't think so. I don't think he has a chance anymore. This is a foregone conclusion, unless something crazy happens. Okay. Okay, here's Shelton. First serve is into the net. So now a little bit of pressure here. Shelton love 30, and he's got a second serve coming up. Tommy Paul, can he take advantage? Backhand return is deep. Shelton forehand. Tommy Paul forehand. Shelton with a beautiful backhand on the very acute angle, and he keeps himself alive here. 15-30 now. Okay. Looks like Michael saying you are right. So is Gene. I think in reference to, do I think Shelton has a chance perhaps? Here we go. Liam, yo, what's up? I love that word. Anyone wants to say yo, throw a big yo in there. Okay, here we go. Shelton mid-court forehand, but he steps back. And now Paul with the backhand cross-court. Forehand, Shelton up the line. Tommy with a forehand cross-court. Now Shelton with a slice backhand to the Tommy Paul forehand. Paul gets to it, but rips it wide. So nice effort there. Bringing himself up to the net is Ben Shelton, and he takes it. Coming back from love 30. He's now at 30 all. Garud saying, how would you rank the top three? I mean, so here's the thing. If you're talking purely numbers, it would be Djokovic. And again, Nadal, I'm saying this with the expectation that Djokovic is going to tie and most likely pass Nadal. I think if Nadal is going to win another major, it'll be the French, but I don't see any more after that for the rest of his career. So I'd say max he'll hit is 23. That's just my sentiment based on his age, what's been going on lately, and all that stuff. So that's how I'd rank them. But in terms of, I prefer to rank them stylistically. And what I mean by that is, instead of saying this one's better and that in this place or whatever, what I like to say is Novak to me is the ultimate like master of the game. He knows his defense is phenomenal. He's like a student of all the different, he's playing all these different guys. He beats power hitters. He beats pushers. He beats guys who have motors that never stop. Like, for example, De Minaur. And he's like technically an absolute master of the game of tennis. Nadal to me is the guy who won based purely on will, determination, and effort. And then Roger, to me, is like the artist, where the racket in his hand was more like a paintbrush than an actual racket, where he thinks in ways that the other guys don't, where he's like, oh, I could hit the ball at this angle, or, you know what I mean? Like, he could come up with shots in the moment that the other guys wouldn't necessarily think of, because he's a very creative, thinks outside the box. So that's how I kind of rank them in that sense, more stylistically. So I hope that helps. Yeah. And Tommy Paul comes in, steps in, and he goes inside out, up the line. Well, up the line, I should say, on the forehand. And he's got a second break point. But Ben Shelton with an ace up the tee, the youngster acquitting himself very well. He has been broken now, just once, actually. But does well under pressure. He's saved 5 out of 6 break points. So, again, very impressive for a young guy playing in his first major outside of his home country. So he did play in the U.S. Open last year, lost in the first round. There you go. First, serve and volley, and then a backhand volley on the line as he approaches, and Shelton's got the advantage. All right. Okay, Shelton first serve into the net on game point here at the advantage. Second serve is good. Return is a cross-court one from Paul. Now a backhand slice Shelton, forehand Tommy Paul, forehand slice Shelton, forehand Tommy Paul up the line. Now backhand Shelton into the net. I've said that about 30 times. Unfortunate. Yeah. Okay, King of Just is asking, Cubby, what soccer football team do you support? So I'm not the biggest soccer fan. So I'm in Canada, and hockey was kind of the first love of my life. Tennis was a close second. although they both kind of evened out in what I love. But anyways, so Vancouver Canucks are my hockey team. I used to have season tickets to the Vancouver Whitecaps MLS, but honestly, it just wasn't my flavor. I'd rather watch. I really enjoy watching the big tournaments, Euro Cup, World Cup, CONCACAF, all that stuff. And then if you're asking me Premiership, I would go with Liverpool, just because I have an English buddy who kind of made me promise to choose them over our other buddy who loves Chelsea. So I've always kind of been a Liverpool fan, but to be honest, I'm not like a daily follower. Although I was stoked that they won during the COVID year when they almost didn't have that end of the year. And they had like one of the best records of all time there. Okay, Shelton's still alive here. He has faced one break. Tommy Paul won't let him end this game, though. And we are back to deuce. What about you, King of Just? You support? Who do you support? Yeah, Michael's mentioning that Federer won 5 U.S. Opens in a row. Yeah, that's amazing, man. What's 35 straight matches? Just like, geez, unbelievable. Yeah, but and then he also did that at Wimbledon. He won 5 in a row, and then was trying to go for 6, take out Bjorn Borg's record, but I think Novak stopped him there. Or no, was it? No, that was Rafa who stopped him. Garud saying Hockey World Cup is going on. Are you talking about field hockey, my friend? I think you must be, because if there was a Hockey World Cup in ice hockey, I would 1,050% know about it. Yeah, Sampras 5 as well. Absolutely. Sampras is my first favorite player ever. Love him. I love his second serve. It's one of the greatest shots in all of tennis ever. All right, here's Shelton now. Comes into the net. Volley. Now Tommy Paul. Oh, with a beautiful cross volley back. Or not volley, but kind of a drop shot back off of the volley on a very acute angle. I thought for sure Shelton had the front of that front part covered, but Tommy Paul puts it in the absolute perfect spot while sliding. Oh, what an amazing slow-mo replay they're showing too. Beautifully done. Tommy Paul sets up 4th break point of the game. And now a second serve. So can Tommy Paul get his break and cruise to the semis? Let's see. No, he can't, because Shelton's second serve is a kicker and Tommy Paul couldn't handle it. That goes long. Deuce number 6 in the longest game of the match. Angel Nayera says, who will win, Shelton or Paul? I'm going to go ahead and say Tommy Paul. Jared Gonzalez speaking about the Roger versus Nole 2019 Wimbledon final, where Roger had 2 match points, but Nole became superhuman and wouldn't allow him to win. Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm over it for sure. I was more leaning towards Roger at the time as a fan, but now, as I've said in the streams, actually Tommy Paul was unable to break and Shelton does hold, so just have to mention that. But yeah, I was more of a Roger fan at the time. Now I'm just like appreciate all of them. But yeah, it was devastating for sure in the moment, but I quickly got over it because, like I said, I love Nole as well. Okay, let's see here. Okay, let's see here. Jimmy. Hey, Jimmy, thank you for joining the chat. Says Pete was quality. You bet he was quality. Absolutely. Michael Walker, I said no more impressive than Connors or Sampras, who also won 5. You completely ignored Connors. I'm sorry, my friend. I'm just trying to comment on the game, trying to get all these comments in. Of course, Connor's 5 in a row. Anyone who can win 5 majors in a row, you're a legend for the rest of your life. So no question there. So I apologize if you felt I threw shade at Connors, but I absolutely had no intention to do that. Okay. I think Connors, Connors is one of these players who made you cheer for him based on how much he loved winning. Like he had this like he wanted it to eat tennis balls. Like that's how much he loved, tennis. So yeah, I'm a massive fan of Connors. So definitely no shade there. Peaches says, Gene, I am not a Nole fan, but respect him as a GOAT. I am a Fed Rafa fan. Fadal, there you go. Peaches, this is a very good point. It says, Nole plays smart tennis. He knows how to get into his opponent's head. Yeah, for sure. And I think he has a really good feel for what his opponent's going through in the moment and exploiting that. So if someone's negative on themselves, he knows how to kind of say, okay, I can see that like this is my moment to pounce on this guy. He's very astute student of the game for sure. All right, Tommy Paul with a big serve up the middle at 40 love, and there you go, game to love. So 2-all, and here we go for Tommy Paul. He's asking which era was tough, 1980 to 2000 or 2001 to 2020? Well, it depends. If you played in 2001 to 2020 and your name isn't Nadal, Federer, or Djokovic, then it must have been the toughest era ever. In the 1980s to 2000s, you had lots of amazing players. You had like the McEnroes, you had the Borgs and Connors, and so it was a different era, just a little bit more variety in that era. I feel like it would be tougher to have great success in the second era unless you were one of the big three. Oh, sorry there. Connor Sampras didn't win 5 in a row. Okay, my bad there. I know Sampras won how many? Sorry, I was thinking Wimbledon with Sampras. Connors, I just that's the one I missed there, but they won 5 on separate occasions. Yeah, just as impressive. I mean, the thing about winning 5 in a row or however many in a row is just like every time you step on every year, the pressure gets bigger and bigger because everyone's just expecting you to win. But yeah, I mean, look, if you win a Grand Slam, you're cemented in history as someone who did something amazing for sure. All right, Shelton now 2-all on serve, down 2 sets to love. On serve in the second set, he's up 30 love and doing great on serve, even though he's been broken once. He's still killing it. Only been broken once, and it took 67 straight service games for him to be broken. That is incredible. All right, Shelton now 40 love. Nice serve out wide. Tommy Paul return up the middle. Now we've got a backhand Shelton cross court. Forehand Tommy Paul is wide, and a game to love for Shelton. There we go. All right, it's been a minute since Shelton had a game to love, so a nice little pressure reliever game for him. Nice to see. Okay, let's see here. Gene is saying he is like a cobra, knows when to strike. Yeah, for sure. He smells blood in the air. Let's see. Jared Gonzalez. In my humble opinion, the conversation is between Federer and Djokovic, but favored towards Djokovic. There's still a few arguments you can make for Federer. Nadal is the king of clay, undoubtedly. Interesting. I mean, I don't fully agree with all of that, but I see where you're coming from. I'm not one of those people who says, "Oh, Nadal wins it all on clay, so it doesn't count as much." Look, if a major is a major and you win a major, that's still crazy. Winning 7 best of 5 sets against the best players on the planet is absolutely crazy. It's so demanding physically. So yeah, that's why I'm not so so much like I don't put Nadal third because he won on clay. It's not his fault that he wins on clay, and maybe the other players could say that they're lucky. There's 2 hard court majors and 1 clay, 1 grass. What if there was 2 clay? Possibly Nadal could be up to like 25, 30, 40, or not 40, 30, like obviously it would be crazy if he did that, but I'm just saying. And Michael Walker is letting us know Navratilova won 7 straight Wimbledons. Yes, she did. And she has the most Wimbledon titles singles of all time. Peach is saying, thanks for the stream, Cubby. Take care, GTL fam. Almost 1:30 a.m. and have work. Have a great day at work, and thanks for joining us, Peaches. Okay, here's Tommy Paul serving at 15 all. 15 love. Make that 30 love. As nice serve up the tee comes back long from Shelton. See where we're at for likes. 50 likes halfway. Let's see if we can get 50 more. Come on, y'all. Also, get us to 50,000 subscribers. That's the goal by the end of this tournament. And there's only 400 needed. King adjust. I'll get to this in 1 second. First serve is long. Says, I like Real Madrid. We expect them to win every Champions League because our standards have to be high. Yeah, I remember my favorite footballer of all time is Brazilian Ronaldo. R9. Not the Portuguese one. But yeah, he's my all-time favorite is Ronaldo. And I know he played for Real. And he had one of the best seasons of his career at 19 for Barca as well. That was crazy. But Covey, don't you think the one-off slam winners aren't remembered as much as those who won multiple? Oh, for sure. No, definitely. I mean, I still think you're cemented in tennis lore if you won one, but for sure, if you won, say, one compared to someone who's won 5 or 6, you're not going to be remembered as much. For sure. Yeah, I agree with you there. Garud, he says, are you Indian? My parents are from India. Yeah, and I've been to India several times. I have lots of family there. Actually, my mom is there right now. She's coming back in 2 days. As an Indian myself, it really makes me sad not to see any Indian player or winning any major tournament. I know, man. I'm an athlete, and I'm of Indian heritage, and it's a real bummer. Like, I really wish that there was, like, maybe someone in the NBA or, hockey might be, ice hockey might be, wishing a little too much as there's no ice in India, but or many ice rinks, I should say. But yeah, I wish that there was more tennis players out of India. I know Sania Mirza is one of them, Bopati and Paez as well, but no real dominant singles players. No one really of significance. And the same was true for Canada for the longest time. We're starting in the last 15, 20 years, we're starting to get some real good traction. Hopefully India does the same. Okay. Here we go. Shelton serving at 15 all, 3 all. That's long. Here comes the second serve. It's a nice one. Tommy Paul with a cross-court return. Now a slice from Paul, and Shelton's forehand goes wide. So 15-30. Okay, so King is saying Nagal and Gunneswaran too. I actually don't even. There you go. I don't even know them, to be honest. So there you go. And then Michael Walker has another one. As Shelton goes up the line, it's not a winner though. It's Tommy Paul, super high lob, but nope, that's long. You had Vijay in tennis in the 70s, and he also came in James Bond movies. See, these are. I mean, I was born in the 80s, so I missed that part of it. But here we go. Gene saying Tommy Paul has been with Brad Stein for 3 years and 6 months, 3.5 years. Nice. Thank you for that information. Gene's always given some cool information, some little tidbits and little nuggets. I really appreciate that, Gene. Thank you. Here's a question for you, Gene. Didn't Brad Stein work with Jim Courier back in the day? I'm not positive about that. See if Gene can come up with another nugget for us. All right, first serve into the net here at game point, 40-30 for Shelton. Okay, second serve is good. Now Shelton with the backhand slice. Tommy Paul forehand cross court. Now another backhand slice from Shelton. Tommy Paul cross court. Shelton tries to go up the line, a little bit wild on that one. And it goes into the net, the high part, and doesn't make it over. Very smart play right now from Tommy Paul. Very economical. Not trying to go for anything huge. Just playing within himself. Playing really smart margin. He's not hitting too many balls long and wide. That's been the difference. I think Shelton's kind of, when he's getting a little fatigued, he's been getting more balls wide, long. There you go. He had an overhead smash for Shelton, and he totally mishit that. Actually, that was a shank. Haven't even hit that button yet. So this could be a very costly mistake. He had the overhead, and he totally shanked it, went super long, and now break point for Tommy Paul. Serve is good. Return for Paul. Up the middle. Shelton forehand, backhand, forehand Paul. Backhand Shelton into the net, and we have a break. There you go. Second break of the match for Tommy Paul, and now he's just 2 games away from the semifinals and a date with either Rublev or Novak Djokovic. Let's give it up for Tommy Paul.
Tommy Paul. Tommy Paul. Tommy Paul. Tommy Paul. Tommy Paul. Tommy Paul. Tommy Paul. Tommy Paul. Tommy Paul. Tommy Paul. Tommy Paul.
I like this quote, this comment from Michael saying, Gene is very young, but a working tennis Bible. And Gene's saying, my dad told me some stuff too. Attaboy. Silver Wolf, I have a feeling he's not a Nole fan. He says, cheat vac, fake vising his hamstring. No, Rublev makes him cry wee all the way home tonight. We'll see. Okay. All right. Tommy Paul now serving at 4-3, up a break and 2 sets. He is on the verge of his first Grand Slam semifinal. Serve is good. Shelton with a very short return and an easy put away at the net from Tommy Paul. There you go. Tommy Paul with his 4th forehand winner of the set compared to Shelton's just 1. All right, here we go. 15 love. Serve up the tee is a good one. Shelton, desperation, just gets his racket on it, but that won't make it over the net. 30 love. Tommy Paul now just 6 points away. Woo! Michael is saying the fat lady is a singing. I was a Borg Sampras Lendl fan. I've actually watched a couple Lendl McEnroe matches from like the 70s, and they were amazing. Like the intensity was crazy. And it's also funny watching with like the lack of information. Like we get all this information on the screen now. You get, everything, the forehand percentage, backhand, this, that, the other. On those old ones, you're like, what's the score of the game right now? I have no idea. You have to wait until the point's over. It's really cool. Okay. All right, 30-15. Tommy Paul, serve is good. Nice chip block back return. Now Tommy steps in, goes cross court on the inside out. Shelton with a nice response defensively, a deep return, and Tommy Paul hits that into the net. 30 all now. That was a really nice point from Ben Shelton. He surprised Tommy Paul. When Tommy went inside out on the forehand, I don't think he was expecting Shelton to get that back but Shelton returned it right pretty much at his feet in the baseline. Here we go, 30 all now. Fault on the first serve. And a double fault from Tommy Paul. Break point. So Shelton has only seen 3 break points and hasn't converted any of them. So can he get his first break of the match? Very impressive serving, actually, from Tommy Paul, if you think about it. All right, big moment here. Break point for Shelton. Can he get back level in this third set? Serve is good out wide. And the +1 is across the forehand from Tommy Paul that goes wide. There you have it, folks. The break is on. Oh, wait, we forgot to give Tommy Paul a break for the last one. So retroactive break. Here we go. All righty. So we're back on serve. Tommy Paul now has been broken for the first time in the match, and Shelton is now back level at 4-all. Ooh, Shelton tried to go lob as Tommy Paul made it to the net, but his lob was long, and so now it's quickly love 15. On the Shelton serve, we've got Garud saying, "Why Novak so much disrespected? Is it because he disturbed the Nadal-Roger rivalry legacy, or is it more to do with racism since he is of the Eastern European origin?" I mean, I personally find the fighting between like the hardcore fans of Nole and Rafa and Roger to be a little bit silly. I don't like even getting into that. So for me, I love them all. I respect them all. And I think they've all brought something to tennis that no one else has and that the other two haven't either. So when I see that stuff, I just try to ignore it because I don't like it's just a waste of energy for me. People are going to have their opinions, and it's really hard to change people's opinions. So, and I don't even want to. So anyways, that's what I think about that. King of Jess says, agreed, Covey. Yeah. You know, I joined Twitter recently. And if you'd like to follow me, I'm at LoveLoveTennis, and the O's are zeros. Anyways, I just joined tennis in the last like 5 months or whatever. And I was shocked and relatively appalled at how much there's fighting between especially Djokovic and Nadal. Roger obviously has faded away in the last year without, playing much, injuries, blah, blah, blah. But Shelton with the ball into the forehand into the net. It was a rally ball. That was a tough one to hit into the net. And now we have 2 more break points for Tommy Paul. I wonder if he smells the finish line as the shade is now coming into the court. So it was sunny pretty much the whole match. Now about, I'd say, just under 25% of the singles court is being covered in shade. Now Shelton with a big serve out wide saves 1 break point. I think I was talking about I just couldn't believe how much animosity there was between Nadal and Djokovic fans. And I was just like not interested in that battle because you could go down this Twitter rabbit hole and it's just so much negativity. It's like, come on, guys. These guys play tennis. They're so good. Like, enjoy them while they're around. All right, big serve again from Shelton. Man, Shelton's crazy. Only been broken twice, and he's saved 9 others. 205 kilometer per hour serve to get out of that one. And we're back to deuce. Michael saying the fat lady's warming up again. God, this fat lady. Tough time. Telling her to go on? No, not going on. Then you're going to sing? No, you're not going to sing. All right, second serve here. Tommy Paul's got to look at. Let's see. And there is a double fault. That was actually a really hard second serve. Was he going? Maybe that's not hard for him. 180 for a second serve. That's pretty significant. That's what, like 120 something? Anyways, or just under that. But anyways, he gets his ace on the next one, though, out wide. Another beautiful serve. Shelton now up to 14 aces to Tommy Paul's 7. Back to deuce here. 4-all, third set. Nice serve up the middle. Return as well up the middle. Now Tommy Paul got a forehand that goes wide. So Shelton, another game point here. Okay. Another ace up the tee, this time for a game point, and I think he deserves a button for that one. That was a monster service game, a huge serving, a few aces on that one. I think he had at least three aces in that one. He's now up to 16. So let's give some love to Ben Shelton.
Ooh, there's a boy in town called Shelton, Ben Shelton. Ooh, there's a boy in town, he's got those hearts melting. Ooh, Shelton, Shelton, Shelton. Ooh, oh, Ben Shelton, Ben Shelton, Shelton.
All righty, let's see here. All right. Stephen Leydig is asking, is there a way to actually watch the game? My friend, it totally depends on where you are or your internet situation. You can either subscribe somewhere or you can watch it on your TV channel in your country, depending on where you are. We are not allowed to show this for copyright reasons, but yeah, so might have to find it somewhere on the internet, but we do not show it here. Sorry about that. Okay, here we go. Tommy Paul now on serve 4-5, up 2 sets, and second serve. And the return from Shelton is a nice one, cross court. Now forehand Paul up the line. Shelton gets that. Tommy Paul steps in and goes the other side, forehand cross court winner. So 15 love. Nice point there. Michael, I would just say ignore them, my friend. Ignore them. Just enjoy tennis. Don't worry about getting into these battles because it's just energy, you know? And you don't want to waste it on silly things. King of Just saying it's funny because Federer haters call him frauder. What's fraudulent about that guy? All right, here we go. Forehand from Paul, and now a forehand Shelton. Forehand Paul, forehand Shelton, forehand Paul, forehand Shelton. These guys are hitting really deep here. Now backhand slice from Shelton. And backhand from Paul, forehand drop attempt from Shelton. That goes into the net. So here we go. 30 love, 13 shot rally. Bad execution on that. I don't think it was like the worst attempted, or like the drop shot itself wasn't a bad move, but the execution was horrendous. Totally missed it, and it wasn't even a hard ball to hit. That's me saying that from my chair in Vancouver while these guys are playing in 30 degrees in the Australian summer. All right, second serve out wide. And Shelton now with a beautiful forehand winner up the line. Oh, no, it wasn't. I guess it was wide. I thought that was in. Let's see the close call. I want to see how close it was. Show me, show me. Oh, it was about an inch and a half, more than I thought. Anyways, 40 love, Tommy Paul, and he's trying to bring himself to 5-all here in this third set. So, first serve is a let. Will we be hitting the game to love button? Let's see. First serve again is wide. Now we got a second. All right, forehand return. Shelton is a blitzer, but Tommy Paul blocks that back, and then Shelton's forehand goes wide. There you have it, game to love. Here we go, 5-all now in the third set here. All right. You know what, Michael? I was thinking that same thing. Ben Shelton resembles Blake Griffin. Yeah, they do have a similar look, for sure. You're welcome, Stephen. Happy to help. Hopefully that gives you some good information. Garud, do you think Novak will ever pass Federer's Wimbledon 8 championship record? I think he very well could. Will he do it? He's got to win 2 more. I could see him tying it. I feel like he will definitely tie it unless he gets some sort of injury problems or whatnot, which I don't anticipate him being so fanatic of fitness and stretching. But I'm going to say he'll at least tie it. I'm not sure about overtake, just because now we're starting to see these youngsters come up, although still him on grass. I don't know who can take him. I think Sinner's a good mover on grass, and he had a 2-set lead on him last year. And Michael says you cannot put anything past Novak. Oh, he says, sweet, it's on ESPN. There you go. Okay, Shelton now up 40-love, cruising in this service game. So it's funny, as we go further and further, Shelton's getting a couple of these easier service games that he wasn't getting before. And an ace up the tee for a game to love. So Shelton has guaranteed himself at least a tie break, but he's going to try and put it away before that. So got a little commercial break. Let's see here. We got Augustin Kai saying Novak will win this AO and Wimbledon. Yeah, I'd say he's the favorite to do so. Michael asking, have you ever been to the UK? Yes, I have. I had a cousin who lived in Brixton, which is an area in London, which you probably know if you're from there. But yeah, so I was there for 5 days on the way back from like a month-and-a-half visit to India, visiting family. And my cousin, who was living in London at the time, she was pregnant. She was 2 weeks overdue. And while I was there, she had the baby. So I ended up being the very first uncle that the baby met. And it was a really cool moment. Yeah, went to Piccadilly Square, where did I go? Went to Imperial War Museum in London. Yeah, it was a great time. All right. So Garud saying 1540 saga of Novak Federer made me fall in love with tennis. Ah, beautiful. Yeah, that's actually a great question to ask. You know, like what made you fall in love with tennis? And I'd have to even think about that as a response. Michael saying I've been to Brixton several times. Attaboy. Yeah, she actually had a really nice place. Everyone was saying like Brixton's like not a great part of town, but I had a great time. I didn't feel uncomfortable or anything there. All right, now Tommy Paul goes cross-court forehand. Shelton with a massively high lob, but no, that does not make it anywhere near the court. So Tommy Paul now 30-love and 2 points away from a tiebreaker. Oh, Brixton has the best Jamaican food. All right. So I'm a lifelong vegetarian. I've never had meat before, so I've never really had too much Jamaican food. There are some Jamaican places here in Vancouver, but I haven't really gone too much. I've had some stuff like the roti, and I've had like the sweet roti rolls, and then there's like the plantain fries or something, like the banana. Anyways, there's some cool stuff that I've had, but apologies that I'm not remembering the names properly. Okay, here we go. Tommy Paul, 30-15. Again, 2 points from a tiebreak. Shelton return up the middle, backhand Paul, backhand Shelton, backhand Paul, forehand Shelton up the line, forehand Paul, backhand Shelton, forehand Paul, backhand Shelton, forehand Tommy Paul, backhand Shelton, backhand Paul, forehand Shelton, backhand Paul up the line, backhand slice Shelton, forehand Tommy Paul is out. So 30 all, and now Shelton's 2 points away from winning the set. Woo-hoo-hoo. So Garud is asking, which state or city of India are you from? So I'm born and raised in Canada. My mom was born in Muradabad, and my dad was born in Pakistan about 1 year before they split from India, in a city called Muridke. So, but our family now lives in Delhi, and I have a masi, an aunt in Bombay. My mom's sister is there. All right, first serve. Oh, it was a nice one. No, it wasn't. It was long. Gosh, I'm not hearing some of these line calls. Here we go, 30 all. Second serve is a good one. Return is cross court. Tommy Paul goes up the line. Shelton goes back up the line. Now backhand Shelton cross court. Forehand Paul. Backhand Shelton. Forehand Paul. Backhand Shelton. Forehand Paul. Forehand Shelton. Forehand Paul inside out. Forehand Shelton up the line. Cross court Paul. Slice from Shelton on the backhand side. Now backhand Paul. Forehand Shelton. Now a backhand slice Shelton on the run. Forehand Paul. Another slice from Shelton on the run. And a third one now. Forehand Paul Shelton. Forehand is long. What a great point. 25 shot rally. And now Tommy Paul has a chance to force a tiebreak. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Garud. Yeah, so I guess our family, we're like Hindu Punjabi. So yeah, my father, when we moved from Pakistan, they moved to Punjab. So the Hindus had to leave Pakistan when my dad was just under 1 year old. And so, yeah. So we got SDF Sword saying, come on, Shelton, you'd have a shot at Joker. Ooh. And then Gene saying, what a rally. Yeah, wasn't it? 25 shots, great variety, some nice angles, a couple line paintings. Love it. So we got a deuce here now. And fault on the first serve. Now I'd say about 60% of the court is covered in shade now. So Shelton's returning from the sun side, and the serve is coming from the shade. All right, Shelton steps in and goes cross court, and Tommy Paul lobs that up, but it's nowhere near the court. So Shelton now has a set point. Woo! Maybe the fat lady is not about to sing just yet. Nice forehand. He really crushed that. Tommy Paul got a racket on it, but couldn't get it into the court. Okay. Here is Tommy Paul. Serve is good. Return up the middle. Now Paul on the forehand. Shelton forehand. Paul backhand long. And there you have it. 7-5 set for Ben Shelton. Oh my heavens. Give him a little bit of love. That was huge. Kind of unexpected too, out of nowhere.
Ooh, there's a boy in town called Shelton. Ben Shelton. Ooh, there's a boy in town. He's got those hearts melting. Ooh, Shelton, Shelton, Shelton. Ooh, oh, Ben Shelton, Ben Shelton, Shelton.
All right, so who saw that coming? Wow, Ben Shelton takes it 7-5. Finally, well, no, that was his second break of the actual set. So there you go. Very impressive. He kind of hit a wall midway through that set, and you kind of felt like, uh-oh, he got broken. And then you felt even more uh-oh for Ben Shelton. And then Tommy Paul gets broken in the very next game to bring him back level. And there you go. And 707 Lady T saying, so glad Ben got a set. Yeah, absolutely. And Gene saying, oof, Shelton. Here comes the comeback. Okay. Gene over here saying, Paul has so much variety. We should not underestimate him if he faces Novak in the semis. It's a good point. He's very solid at all parts of his game. I'm actually very impressed with his serving. Yeah, he's only faced 4 break points in 3 full sets of tennis. That's very impressive. Garud is saying, I really want a Hindu player to play Grand Slam, man. Yeah, same here. It would be so much fun. So much fun. I mean, I remember the first time or when Raonic just started coming up and making a name for himself, beating Roger at Wimbledon in the semis was like, what the hell? We have a Canadian doing this? And then we had Jeannie Bouchard make the finals at Wimbledon, and she was making semis at a couple Grand Slams. So I know that feeling of seeing kind of the first of your country, at least in a generation, make it to some significant level. And it would be great if India could do that too. I know the Philippines actually had a junior girl win the U.S. Open, and that's the first from the Philippines. So really stoked for them. Hopefully India can follow in their footsteps. All right, here we go. Set 4 is underway. Shelton serving. He's at love 15 here. Wait, make that 15 all. That was a nice serve. Ace out wide. Ace number 18, is it? Looks like it. Yeah, 18. 4 double faults. 35 unforced errors. 12 winners. And for Paul, we've got 7 aces. 1 double fault. 22 unforced errors and 26 winners. Wow, Paul has a lot more winners. More than double. Okay, second serve now at 15 all is a double fault. And so now 15-30. So now Shelton needs to be careful here. He's riding the wave of winning that set, but he's quickly down 15-30 on his serve. He's got to be careful not to give it up and get broken early here. Now we're down to about, I'd say, 85% of the court is shade and about 15% is sunlight. Now, Tommy Paul with a backhand winner, and here we go. A double break opportunity for Tommy Paul real quick into this set. King of Just saying Tommy Paul is about to bagel Shelton. Robbie Gill, great job, Cub, on the commentary. Thanks, Rub. That's my boy there. Yeah, thank you for that. Tuning in from Van City. All right, here we go. Nice serve from Shelton. Now we got a backhand Tommy Paul with a nice angle. Backhand slice from Shelton. Forehand Paul and backhand Shelton. Backhand Paul. Forehand Shelton. Backhand from Paul. And Shelton's backhand goes into the net. And there you have it. We have an early break in this fourth set. All righty, y'all. So, Tommy Paul, I mean, it's still really early, and he's only had to face 4 break points in this whole match. But two of the breaks he had were in the last set, and he was broken on them. So, let's see. Still a lot of road ahead here. There you go. Let's see here. We got another one here. King is saying, I'm predicting a bagel so I can go to sleep earlier. Yeah. Nice serve and volley from Tommy Paul there. Very easy put away for a 15-love lead. Oh, there's my little puppy. Puppy getting puppies. First serve out wide here on 15 love. And double fault here from Tommy Paul. So now 15 all. Okay. We got Sue Wan Lim asking, show your puppy on stream. You guys want to see the puppy? Here, let's see. Let's see if I can get it. Gobi. Aja. Come here, baby. Come here. She doesn't want to come to me right now. Aja. Aja. My dog's name is Gobi, which means cauliflower in Hindi. All right. Serve +1 for Paul here. Shelton gets that +1, but he sails that one way long. So now 40-15, Tommy Paul is just a point away from consolidation of the break. Garud asking, what's your favorite NBA team? Not the biggest basketball fan. Yeah, honestly. And basketball I find is interesting because you have these superstar players moving a lot, and they're so impactful. You know, like LeBron goes from, where do you go? Cleveland, goes to the finals a bunch. Then he goes, wins the championship a few times in Miami. Then he comes back to Cleveland, wins the championship. Then he goes to LA, wins the championship. So, yeah, there's a lot more kind of revolving door of superstars moving around. So that's why I haven't really, I used to watch back in the Jordan era. I really, really loved it then. But yeah, I just haven't been so much into it. Also, I'll just say I love the Vancouver Grizzlies logo. I love it. Okay. Serve and volley from Shelton, but that volley was no good as Tommy Paul dropped it quickly after it went over the net, and Shelton had to reach more than he was expecting. That definitely wasn't the greatest approach shot. Gobi, Aja. Where are you? We'll try and get her in here. King is asking, what kind of dog do you have? She's a miniature Schnauzer Pomeranian. Oh, Michael, you're living NYC. Okay, I was wondering about that. I don't know why I thought maybe you were in the UK, but then I was like, maybe not. Sue Wan Lim, Covey, you're very knowledgeable. Thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying the stream. And hey, please give us a like if you can. I'm trying to get 100 likes. Haven't done so yet in my streaming career, which is about 3 months long. We're at 60, so we're getting close, y'all. 60. We got 92 people in. Thank you all for joining me. Really appreciate each and every one of you. Hey, if you're scared to leave a comment, don't be. I know sometimes if you're new or you haven't been in a chat comment thing before, a little wondering like, oh, should I do this? Do it. Ask me a question. Would love to chat with you. Okay. Garud asking about the IPL, the Indian Premier League. That's cricket. Do you know about it? We also have superstars moving from team to team. Ah, really? I don't follow it, but I do know of its existence. It's pretty new, right? Within the last 10 years it's come around. I was actually in India when Sachin Tendulkar hit the double century. That was back in 2010 in February. It was actually during the Vancouver Olympics in 2010, which I was really bummed that my brother decided to get married during that time because Olympics in your city is a once in a lifetime. All right, here we go. Shelton now 40-15. Nope, he wins the game. Nice ace up the tee. So Paul is still up a break here and up 2-1. After this changeover, he will be serving. King Adjust, isn't Golden State the basketball equivalent to Real Madrid, as in they're the best and most supported teams? So Golden State, I mean, they were never really that great until the last, I'd say 6 or let's say decade, when they got Steph Curry and then they've got Klay Thompson. They're called the Splash Brothers. Steph Curry single-handedly has changed a lot of the dynamic of how players play. He's such a good shooter, and he shoots from so far out that defenses had to like literally change. Before they'd kind of all stay near their basket. Now, because he's so good at and hits so many 3-pointers as well as his teammates, now people have to defend differently, and then that leaves space in the middle. And so it's basically changed the game of basketball, from what I understand. But yeah, I'd say the Lakers are always pretty much, like a team kind of to watch. They've been pretty bad lately the last couple of years after winning their title. But yeah, I'd say the Lakers are the most kind of branded. They're like the New York Yankees or the Real Madrid, I would say, of the NBA. Sue One again asking, have you watched Slam live? Not in person. Definitely not, but my goal is to watch all 4 of them. That is definitely a goal of my life. All right, here we go. Tommy Paul serve is good, and the return is long from Shelton. So 15 love for Tommy Paul. How about you, Suwon? Have you seen any live major action? Let me know. Okay, we got a backhand slice from Shelton. Forehand, Tommy Paul steps in, and that's a winner on the inside out. 30 love here for Tommy Paul. King of Just saying, I've seen a lot more people wearing Golden State shirts than LA Lakers. You know, it's interesting. In Vancouver growing up, never once did I see a single Golden State hat, shirt, paraphernalia, not one single thing. And then they started winning their titles, and all of a sudden Vancouver's become like the Golden State honorary city or something. I don't know what's going on. Tommy Paul with an easy put away at the net there. Nice approach. Pulls Shelton out wide. Shelton with the desperation forehand, and Tommy Paul just easily puts that away. Nice forehand. Good goal to have, Suwon Lim. Maybe one day we'll meet each other and say hi in person at a major. How cool would that be? What a crazy. So they're showing this replay of that desperation shot that I was mentioning. Okay, here we go. And by the way, Tommy Paul took that one. I forgot to hit the game to love button. 1 second. All right, here we go. Shelton now serving 1-3, and his forehand goes long. So love 15. So Michael is saying, I feel like watching cricket is like watching grass grow in slow motions. My fellow Caribbean and Indians don't stone me. And then Guru is saying T20 cricket. So that means 20 overs instead of playing like a test match, which is like 2.5 days or 5-day matches. And then they have the T20s. Didn't they also have like the 60 each or something? Or anyways, yeah, but the T20s are like much faster pace. I think they're 2-3 hour matches. So they're much more like, go there to the stadium and you don't have to have meals in between. Oh, Shelton misses an easy volley there at the net. So now 15-30. Uh-oh. Do we have another break on the horizon? Oh, Michael sharing his information of where he's been. We'll get to this in just 1 sec. Nice serve from Shelton. He comes up to the net and drop shot. Tommy Paul gets to it, but it's long. So 30 all. Nice play there. Garud says 50 overs. Yeah, so those are the ODI. 1 day international is 50. And then there's like the test matches, which are like, I think you go up to 5 days. And then there's a T20. Okay, so Michael was saying, I've been to 7 of the 9 Masters. Wow. All 4 majors, plus Barcelona, Tokyo, and Sydney. Whoa. Davis Cup final in Belgrade and the London O2 for World Tennis Finals. Wow, that is quite an impressive resume of attendance. pretty sweet, man. Let me know, what was your favorite match out of all that you've seen, or was there a specific moment that you liked? Was there? Yeah, let me know. That's really, really cool. What's your favorite major to go to, atmosphere-wise? And here we go. Shelton serving at 30-40. So Tommy Paul now has a chance to really stamp his foot on the throat of Shelton and take this. So the Shelton, I think Shelton's, I think that was his coach doing this, saying serve up the tee. No, sorry, it was Tommy Paul. I think Tommy was asking his coach, where is he going to serve? His coach went like this. And then Ben Shelton, I think he saw that and he went wide. And now they're all kind of laughing about it. So that is so funny. And they all know each other, right? These Americans. So, and then Tommy Paul points at his coach saying, you are wrong, buddy. All right, deuce here. Shelton serving. Nice serve up the middle. Return up the middle. Now we got a backhand Paul, forehand Shelton, backhand Paul, forehand Shelton, backhand Paul, inside out, backhand slice Shelton, forehand Paul, backhand Shelton, forehand Paul, backhand Shelton, forehand Paul, backhand Shelton, forehand Paul, forehand Shelton, forehand Paul, forehand Shelton, and that's a winner. A nice rally. Very, very nice rally. Okay, what a beautiful forehand to end it too. Nicely done, Ben Shelton. Very nice. Okay, here we go. Nice serve out wide, but a great stab return. Desperation. Now another net cord for Shelton, but Tommy Paul gets that. And this time, Shelton goes down the line forehand and takes it. So now 3-2 Tommy Paul, one break up here. Michael, responding to the question I asked him, too hard to say which is my favorite match, but the best match was Australian Open Final 2012 Novak versus Nadal, almost 6 hours. Wow, yeah, that was a classic for sure. Indians do well in higher education. That's more important, he's saying. And then Garud is asking why Indians living abroad in US, UK, Canada don't do great in sports. Here in India, we can make an excuse of infrastructure, but really, what's stopping you? Well, I was actually an American college athlete. So I grew up playing ice hockey, and I ended up playing in the American college, NCAA. So that was pretty fun. I got to wear a suit and fly around the country in an airplane just to play some hockey games, which was a dream come true, absolutely. So yeah, the answer, not sure. I guess totally depends on the circumstances of the player. I did start my hockey late. Interestingly, I went further than a lot of the players that I grew up playing with, but they all kind of grew up together. There's a couple players whose dads were the coaches the whole time. I remember one year I got really sad that I didn't make a team that I felt like I should have. And then I went to college and I made it right away. So kind of made me feel all right about that. But yeah, I think Indian parents want us to do more education type stuff generally. I know my parents did. But anyways, good question. Good question. We got one here. This would easily be 100 like stream. It's just this match is both unseeded underdog match. Let's see where we're at, actually. 63. Come on, guys. Let's get it up to 100. We can do it. We can do it. And okay, Tommy Paul here takes a 30 love lead. All right. Oh, I was wrong earlier when I said Tommy Paul was wearing white shorts. He's actually wearing pink shorts. Okay, here we go. Nice forehand from Tommy Paul. Backhand slice Shelton. Now backhand Shelton. Backhand Paul. Shelton shot off of the net cord. Now Tommy Paul gets to that. And as Tommy Paul approaches the net, He hits a cross-court winner. Forehand side. There you go. Nice approach there. Smart. Okay. Okay, here's a Tommy Paul serve is good right at the body of Shelton, and that is returned long. So game to love for Tommy. Okay, so Suwon Lim asking, wow, Covey, you were a hockey player. Yes, I was. It was, like I said earlier, it was the first love of my life. Tennis was a very close second, but now they've kind of become even. Let's see here. Okay, here we go. Shelton now serving 2-4. Down a break here in set number 4, and he's down 2-1. So times are getting hairy here for Ben Shelton. He's got to get a break here soon. Tommy Paul with a winner. So Shelton hits a net cord, and it bounces high. Tommy Paul steps into that and goes down the line. Shelton now is just kind of... He was... looking at one of his wrists there for a second. Let me see if they show on the replay. He's looking at his right this area of his wrist. He was kind of like massaging it. I wonder if there's anything. He was looking at his right wrist though, and he's a lefty, so hopefully it won't. Nothing bothering him there. Nice serve at the body again of Tommy Paul, and that one return goes wide. So 15 all here. I think you're talking about Marty Fish, Michael Walker, I believe. Is that right? Marty Fish? I think that's who you're talking about. By the way, I should read that just in case. Tommy Paul reminds me of the American who used to be best friends with Andy Roddick. Can you think of his name? But he was extremely handsome. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and say Marty Fish, I think. I believe they were really, really tight. Oh, with his game style, not his looks funny. Okay. Here we go, Shelton. Nice serve out wide now. He's up 40-15. Game point coming at him. We've got Muftau Ibrahim saying Joker all the way. Yeah, he's up next facing Rublev on this very court, Rod Laver Arena in, I think it was scheduled for 45 minutes from now. So if this wraps up soon, then there'll be a little bit of a break and we'll get right into that one. Serve +1 there, but Shelton hits that +1 into the net. Michael Walker says, yeah, that's him. There you go. Yeah, Marty Fish had a Netflix special as well. It was really good. If you like his style of game, check it out. He was also the Davis Cup captain this year for the Americans. And an ace up the tee for Shelton, so he is staying within touching distance right here. And 23 aces for Ben Shelton. I think that deserves a button.
Ooh, there's a boy in town called Shelton, Ben Shelton. Ooh, there's a boy in town, he's got those hearts melting. Ooh, Shelton, Shelton, Shelton. Ooh, oh, Ben Shelton, Ben Shelton, Shelton.
All right, Suwon, here you have it. This is my little baby. Her name is Gobi. She's a tiny little baby, and she's adorable, and she's scruffy, and I love her so much. So, yeah, there's for y'all who wanted to see. She's tiny. She's only 10 pounds, and she flies in the air like Superman and is out of the stream. There you go. You guys got to meet my dog, Gobi. Okay, let's see here. What else we got? Suwon asking, do you think Rublev will get a set from Nole? I do not think so. If you're asking me right now, based on what I've seen from Nole in the last couple matches, I'm going to say no. Yeah, that's my answer there. And let's see. Okay. Michael saying Melbourne Park, Rod Laver Arena, 7 p.m. Novak versus Rublev. King of Jess loving the puppy. So is Suwon Lim. Michael, is the fat lady warming up her pipes? She might be. She might be. Let's see. Tommy Paul now serving up a set. He's up a set 2-1. And he's up a break 4-3. And he's serving. And he's up 15-love as Shelton sliced backhand into the net there. So again, Tommy Paul just a single-digit number of points away from the semis, but he was in the same position last set. So let's see what happens. All right. Fault on the first serve. Second serve coming up. Serve is good. Now backhand Tommy Paul, forehand Shelton, backhand Paul, forehand Shelton. Great angles. And a backhand from Paul goes wide. So, no, what? It says 30-love. Is that right? I guess I clipped the line. Weird. I'm not really hearing all this. Some of these line calls, really weird. All right, 40-love for Tommy Paul as he hits a serve up the tee that does not come back over the net. Okay, Tommy Paul now second serve here at 40-love. So that's a double fault. So 40-15. Michael asking, what accent do you have? I mean, maybe just like a West Coast of North American accent, West Coast Canada or Vancouver accent. I'm not really sure. All I know is when I was at university in the States, whenever I would go, if I had like a summer break and I went back to Arizona, all my friends in Arizona were like, you sound super Canadian. And then I'd come back to Vancouver for spring break and they'd say, my Canadian friends say, you sound super American. So anywhere I went, I would always sound like where I just was to the people who I just went to. Jared here saying, I really hope Team can get back to his old level. I think his top level is better than any one of the younger guys. Yeah, it's very interesting. I do feel that his level was extremely high. I mean, he was constantly pushing the big guys in the majors. And I feel like this is what I hope is not the case. I hope tennis hasn't passed him by while he had that injury and he's trying to get back, because this new generation, the crop of players has kind of come up now. And, Team wasn't that young. Nice overhead slam there for Shelton for a 15-love lead. And Team wasn't like really young when he did break out and when he did win his US Open title. So, yeah, I really hope. I love how he strikes the ball. I think he's a great player, and I would love to see him get back to that for sure. Okay, Shelton now with a nice serve, but Paul with an even better return, and that's a winner. Backhand cross court. Beautiful. Oh, right on the line. Beautiful. And return is wide from Tommy Paul, so 30-15 Shelton. He's really going to want to make Tommy Paul serve this one out. Feel the nerves of what it's like to maybe be on your way to the semis. That's a different beast. It'll be something that he's never done before in his life. Serve for a semifinal spot. Nice serve up the tee for Shelton. 40-15. That's an ace. Ace number 24. Man, yeah. Gene saying, Paul, better close this out now. Yeah. Lucky for me, being on the West Coast, it's still before midnight. It's 11:20. So not one of those into the middle of the night ones. All right, backhand slice from Shelton. Another backhand slice. Now Tommy Paul forehand. Shelton tries to rip a winner from well back of the baseline and wide of the court. I think he was just like, I'm out of the point here. I'm just going to try and go for it, but nowhere near the net. Or the court, I should say. And then Muftau saying all these new guys have to put in more work to catch up with Joker. Yeah, for sure. Okay, Tommy Paul with a cross-court backhand, and then the forehand from Shelton is into the net. So we got a deuce. Okay, now Paul is just 2 points away from his first semifinal. It's getting thick here. 50 unforced errors for Ben Shelton. I wonder how many of those were on the backhand side. I don't know how many times he hit the backhands into the net there. All right, drop shot Shelton. Tommy Paul gets to it, and he hits it on a wide angle. Shelton gets to it, but he hits it wide on the response. And here we go, match point number 1.
Match point.
3 hours and 1 minute into it, we have our first match point. So Shelton is serving, advantage Paul. Let's see what happens. Serve is good, and Tommy Paul into the net, so he saves a match point. Very well done, youngster. Nicely done. Here we go. Another serve from Shelton is good. Tommy Paul into the net again. So from match point down to game point up is Shelton now. And will he force Tommy Paul to serve it out? Let's see. Nice serve from Shelton and a great return. So it was a serve and volley, but Tommy Paul read that he was coming into volley, and he goes up the line. Very smart return, I should say, as Shelton was coming up. Blah, 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 blah. Getting pretty long. This is my second stream of the day, guys, and I did Cubby's Corner, so I've been on front of this camera for what, probably 4.5, 5 hours, maybe more now. Okay, second serve at deuce is good. Forehand return by Tommy Paul. Now forehand Shelton up the line. Tommy Paul forehand is long, and Shelton's fired up, turning around, fist pumping. Michael Walker, isn't it cheaper to go to university in Canada than the US? You know, interestingly, so I got in-state tuition because I made the hockey team for my university. So instead of paying like $10,000 a semester American, I only had to pay about like $1,600. So it was got very lucky on that. But I think generally it's maybe more, it's more expensive in the States simply because their currency value is higher. Okay, and Shelton holds for 4-5, and now Tommy Paul has the chance to serve it out. But let's give Ben Shelton a little love. Saves a match point in that game.
Ooh, there's a boy in town called Shelton, Ben Shelton. Ooh, there's a boy in town, he's got those hearts melting. Ooh, Shelton, Shelton, Shelton. Ooh, oh, Ben Shelton, Ben Shelton, Shelton.
We got a great question here from the Aussie lad. Thank you for chiming in, my friend, saying, which youngster has more potential in your opinion, Lehechka or Shelton? That's a great question, man. Lehechka really, really impressed me, man. The variety that he has in his game. He's got power, great movement, solid on both wings, and he likes to come to the net. Oh, God, which has more potential? So Ben's 21, Yuri Lehechka's 20. No, Ben's 20, Shelton. So it's only a one year difference. I feel like Shelton might have a higher ceiling because he's got such a big serve. He's a little bit taller. I'm going to say Shelton, but not very confidently because Lehechka, like, really impressed me. Like, I think that he has a potential to be, like, a top 5 player. Yeah. So that's my answer there. And I think Michael is answering that question. He's saying Shelton. All right. Serving for the match now, Tommy Paul takes the first point. Now, second serve coming at 15 love is good. Backhand Paul, backhand slice Shelton, forehand Tommy Paul, backhand Shelton, forehand Paul is long. So 15 all and a big fist pump from Ben Shelton. Times are getting a little crazy. I did not know this. Suwon is saying just 178 points left now before LeBron overtakes Kareem. Is that right? I did not know that. That's a pretty significant deal there in the history of the NBA. Okay, beautiful serve out wide. It was so far wide that the return actually was in. It hit the judge or the umpire. He pulled him off the court so bad. Yeah, it actually hit the umpire. Didn't hurt him at all, but he saw it the whole way. So now 2 points from the match here. Tommy Paul. And serve up the tee. And a beautiful forehand. Although beautiful defense from Shelton. But he made Tommy Paul hit another one. But Tommy Paul makes no mistake. Cross court. And now we have our second match point.
Match point.
And he's got 2 of them. Here we go. Tommy Paul with a match on his racket, serving for the semifinals. First serve is good. It's out wide, and the return is long. And Tommy Paul has it, folks. Tommy Paul makes it into his first Grand Slam semifinal. He will face either Novak Djokovic or Andrei Rublev. A nice embrace and a great exchange at the net. Yeah, Ben Shelton, you could tell they are really appreciate each other as the umpire makes his way down on the electronic orb to give them a handshake. Fist pumps for Tommy Paul. Great effort for Ben Shelton. This was a great match, guys. Let's take a look at a couple of comments here before we go. Oh, that's so funny. So I have this automatic timer for 11:30. And it just turned off on me as we struck 11:30. So let me turn that back on. There we go. We're back on. All right, yo. So, all right, y'all. So Gene saying that was a good match. Absolutely, it was a good match. Saying what a win for Paul. Suwon Lim saying good run for Shelton. Absolutely. So there we have it, folks. Michael saying Paul better player. I would definitely agree with you there. And let's just want to quickly hear the ovation that Ben Shelton's getting from this crowd, and it's a nice one. They're standing up and they're giving him some appreciation, and he deserves it. He's doing the heart sign to the crowd. Nicely done, Ben Shelton. This will definitely not be his last time in this arena, and some pretty big things to come for this guy, I'd say. There's Craig Tiley giving him a little high five on the way out. There you go. Tommy Paul with the roar. With a big roar at the end of that one. So there you have it, folks. The final score is, well, I'll put it up there one more time for you. It was 7-6, 6-3, 5-7, 6-4 for Tommy Paul versus his American compatriot. What a match, y'all. What an absolute beauty of a match. Great serving. Very solid play by Tommy Paul, and I think experience just won out in the end, and deservedly so, because he played a little bit better. All right, y'all, let's see here. King of Just saying, peace out, Covey, and everyone. Peace out, King of Just. Had a great time chatting with you, sharing our time together here in the love of tennis. Suwon Lim, thanks, Covey. See you on your next stream. Thanks, buddy. You should have one tomorrow, and I also have my daily segment called Covey's Corner. You can check it out on the GTL channel. I do a daily roundup of the day's events and do some match analysis on a couple matches. All right, yo, I think that's enough for me. I'm going to take a little break and try and watch as much of this Novak match that's coming up here in a few minutes. You guys stay safe, have a good time, enjoy that match if you're going to watch it, wherever you may be. And once again, I'm Covey signing out for the Game to Love Tennis Podcast.